Luckily, I have a fucking alibi, as in I was here when it happened. We were literally before NBC News on the story. That's how fucking crazy this chat is. That there were still some freaks watching this fucking rally while we weren't even watching it, and immediately informed me before NBC News even got to it.
From a confirmed source that the shooter was actually firing from outside the perimeter.
Yeah, you guys can
that
join,
changes a lot in terms of
you can't say anything unhinged right now, though, because there's a lot of haters out and about looking to fucking somehow turn this on me or some shit.
Is that a shooter could get in an elevated position at any kind of a Secret Service event, because the first thing that the service does is they get all the elevated
once-in-a-lifetime historic events unfolding.
Put their, sniper teams up there and lookouts with binoculars and rifles. So, it does seem from the witnesses that this was a
I'm here with 2 Australian nationals who were literally supposed to go to this rally.
We got tickets. We went to SneakerCon instead.
Yeah, they got tickets for this rally. They were gonna go, and then they're like, "Oh, it's just gonna be kind of a shit video if we go. It's gonna be boring. We don't want to fly all the way out to fucking Pittsburgh to do this." And then they turned around with the fucking SneakerCon instead.
I think what's really fucked is so content brain that I kind of feel like I've been broken up with. You visualize like a separate future of what you could have been doing, and it's all gone.
Right after that, there's
it would have been a dangerous situation. You avoided getting potentially shot at. JD Vance is already blaming Biden, of course, predictable.
Was close. I don't know.
Biden's campaign's rhetoric led directly to President Trump's attempted assassination. Yeah, remember, guys. Donald Trump didn't do January 6th, but even if he did do January 6th, those are fucking patriots. Also, Biden directly is responsible for the assassination attempt. It's such a... These guys have literally no fucking decency whatsoever. First of all, Biden is a fucking cadaver, okay? He is not... Mike is going in and out. Fix audio. Jesus.
Ah, shit.
What did you do? Did you move it around or something? Oh, there's an echo.
Oh, it's because of this guy. We can just share this.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
Trump thinks Kamala Harris is. I mean, Biden thinks Kamala Harris is Trump. If he was going to kill anyone, you wouldn't know who it would be.
Oh, okay.
It's an arena, at least you're in a closed environment. I only have to worry about what's on the inside. When you do open rallies like this, right? You're outside. You have to worry about line of sight issues. Line of sight is a massive problem. Why is it a problem? Because somebody can be out in the distance and really engage your target from a long range. And there are weapons out there that allow you to do this. So even though, let's say you hunker this whole area down, you've got the magnetometers, you've got the tactical element, everything's locked and tight.
Wait,
how do you secure that outer perimeter? How far do you go? And can you cover everything?
They got the shooter.
But that means there was a breach in security and people had weapons. And like, that seems so weird that he would get back up.
Yeah, dude, he got back up to throw up a fist because Secret Service W on that one. They were like, yes, Mr. President, go ahead, throw up your fucking fist.
You're good to go.
Dude, Israel bombs Damascus all the fucking time. You guys are crazy. I'm sorry, but it's like a man bites dog versus dog bites man type situation. Okay? Like, chatters who are like, dude, by the way, Israel's bombing Damascus is a crazy fucking thing to say right now in this moment when the former president had an assassination attempt. Okay?
When was the last time this happened?
This is Ronald Reagan. Oh, well, other people have been like congressperson been shot. The third in line, Steve Scalise was shot at the congressional baseball game. But like last time a president or a former president that's like running for re-election, last time a president was shot at was Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was shot at and he survived. And someone attempted to fucking kill Bush, I guess, by throwing a shoe at him, but that's not it. Like, that's not what we're talking about.
This happened like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, there was the Bush shoe projectile, but like American presidents have not, have not had this kind of like a serious attempt at their lives in quite some time.
to not panic and to allow the Secret Service, and also look at where that motorcade is. That vehicle where they exit him out, there's people all around, and you see everybody hold their position and allow the security team to evacuate.
Yeah, Abby, thank you for that. I should note several years ago, working on a story for the Today Show, I went to the Secret Service training facility outside of Washington, and they put me through a simulation in which I was the protectee, waving to a crowd when shots ring out. And
Vice President Harris,
the swiftness.
Yeah, they're all saying like, "We're glad he didn't die."
Getting me in the car.
I don't know.
I
mean, that's it. That's what's going to happen. Like, that's what they're going to say. Like, no one's gonna be like, I can't believe the motherfucker missed. Like, no one's gonna say that. You know what I mean? If that's what you're expecting, like, I'm telling you, is not. Also, the other thing, this is pretty funny. people basically are trying to say this. Okay, the Republicans that are coming out and being like, this is because of Biden's rhetoric, are basically like unironically saying this meme is real. Okay, Biden was like, no, we beat Medicare. Someone was like, thank you. The Manchurian candidate was activated. Okay, the Manchurian candidate was fucking activated. Is like, oh yeah, he said the right sequence of words, and it unlocked a part of someone's fucking brain. Anyway,
no, there's no way a lib did this. Like, I don't know.
They did miss those. Maybe that is pretty lib.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother texted me and said, this is a historically significant event. You should consider putting on a shirt. Yeah, no, it's fine. I got a right to bear arms, baby. It's the United States of goddamn America. You know what I'm saying?
Can I tell you what we did at SneakerCon as soon as it happened?
What?
I was like, I need to go buy the Donald Trump shoes right now because I thought he'd been killed. And I was like, imagine how much they're going to go up in value.
Yeah, I texted him. Well, you were not going to buy them because you texted me that they were $500,000.
I would get the money somewhere.
Yeah. He was like, because I told them when they went to SneakerCon, I told him like, I need the Trump shoes. Like, I need to buy them. And he was like, okay, I'll see if they have it. They found it. $500,000 what they're selling it for.
President Trump was up there, you know, and then within 5 minutes we're hearing pop, pop, pop, pop, pop. And then everybody's on the ground. Everybody's on the floor. And it was just like, what? And we were on the ground level. We were 4 rows back from the stage. And are you coming?
We'll just follow along with you. They're moving in the car here, so we'll just
on the stage. And the people in the bleachers behind us, somebody got popped. Somebody got killed. Somebody died. Somebody got shot.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
you guys are
this close to where
we don't know. We don't know
Those
the exact
bullets,
details, but like I think
pray
a
to God for
bystander
these
and
people's
perhaps
families.
the
Oh my
shooter
God.
got shot, and another is in critical
but
condition.
I mean, it is very good.
How is this happening in our country today? And why? Why is it happening? Why?
And Tracy, you were telling me earlier.
What do you mean? Why is
you
that?
and
You guys are
Tyler, you know
Republican.
this
You know
county,
exactly
you know
why
this
it's
area.
happening.
Did you ever think
You've been talking about killing pedophile Democrats for so long. Like, it is such a shocking revelation to right wingers when they're like, "What? I'm so confused." Like, you're literally at every rally being like, "We got to kill members of the media," and then they're like, "Oh wow, the rhetoric has gotten out of control." Like, you're not like an NPR Democrat, okay? You're not the type of Democrat that's like, oh, maybe we should give Nazis a seat at the table so we can hear what they have to say. Like, half of the people that are wearing fucking shirts have shirts like assassinate Joe Biden on them while they're like, I'm in dismay. This country is falling apart, while they literally are wearing like fucking end Joe Biden's life t-shirts. You know what I mean? I guess when they say, how could this happen? They mean like, how can this happen to us, to a Republican? You know, we are supposed to have the monopoly on, you know, political violence. And it is technically true. They do have that. They do normally have the monopoly. I want to see what our fucking shirt says. I want to see so bad. What does it say?
Parasite was the bottom one.
No,
How does it make you feel? How were you feeling?
It makes me feel absolutely great and wonderful. You know, in my heart.
Yeah, maybe they're confused because this didn't happen at a school. They're like, this normally only happens at schools. What's going on?
But I do, because this country for so long seems to be going down a path that it really shouldn't be doing.
So, I mean, you came in to hear the former president speak, someone you're a fan of, and what is your state of mind now?
Not good. There's too much hate. This is too much. We can't do this as a country. We can't.
There's too much hate. Dude, at the rally that she was at, Trump probably said, immigrants are poisoning the blood of America. We have to take care of all of the immigrant rapists. We have to put them in concentration camps. And she was like, yeah. But then, like, she's like, what is happening with this rhetoric? It is so divisive. It
so
is
glad you and Tyler are safe. Drive safe.
Up.
We hope you get home soon.
You
Thank you. I
can't be at the
appreciate
fucking
you.
hate rally and be like,
Lester,
the
they've got
discourse is out
a
of
ways
control,
to go still.
dude.
There's a lot of cars piling up here. There are a few different
you found
places
the
that
shirt.
people are trying to exit at this point. A bit of a free-for-all, but people have been kind and generous to one another. People letting cars in that
Like
are
a
trying to
different
come
version
in.
of this shirt.
And again, just reeling from what they witnessed. Some people very much firsthand, very much.
Here it is.
Very, very
This is the
close to
actual
the
one here.
tragedy that we're describing from sort of the law enforcement point of view, the high level point of view. But at the end of the day, Lester, the people who were here on the ground, particularly those who were close to that violence, it's something they are never going to forget, and it's now associated, of course, with politics, with the state of our democracy for so many of the people that we've been talking to, Lester.
All right, Dasha, thanks. We'll continue to go to you.
Yeah, let me tell you, okay, for people asking, I joked and I said, like, maybe there'll be gun reform now. Okay, that was a joke. But if you're asking about that question seriously, the only type of gun reform that they're going to engage in now is going to be extra guns, okay? Gun reform. Every baby to a Republican family must be armed with an RPG, okay? We need rocket launchers. We need homing missiles, okay? We need JDAMs in every house.
Have confirmation that this is where former President Donald Trump was taken, but there's a heavy law enforcement presence here. Media was across the street. We're shortly getting moved. The hospital is set up on a hillside, and there's law enforcement at the top of the hill looking down. There's also law enforcement at the top of the roof of the hospital itself. When I arrived, there was a helicopter circling the building. Heavy police presence here,
The
Lester.
median voter
when I
speaks.
pulled up, I asked
Not
the
a
officer
Cheeto
how they
fan.
were
This
doing.
is a great
He
shot.
said they're
Kudos
hanging
to the
in there.
photographer.
Obviously, a terrifying scene here
what
in
everyone's
Butler
saying on
tonight.
Twitter.
Lester?
Newsmax reporters.
The media did a great
Newsmax
job.
reporting the shooter was Chinese. Yeah, brother. Newsmax, One American News Network, OAN, or any number of like Falun Gong affiliated channels like Epoch Times. Do not go to these places for actual accurate news. Okay? Like sometimes they might actually end up getting it right. Having said that, however, I promise you that they are not doing real journalism. They're just fucking throwing darts at a board. I don't know. CNN said he was Chinese, then I'll believe it. Okay? If the reporting, and by the way, it's still too early. Like there's always going to be inaccuracies in the way that people are covering it. If CNN says it, or if the New York Times reports on it, or if a police official, if like there is an official response from law enforcement, from an actual position of authority, then it's fine. Then it's like, you know, there's a little bit more veracity to the claims. Okay.
So it's just ridiculous to think that like China
Okay.
wants Biden
We
more
should
than
note that
Trump,
President
that there's
Biden
like
says he
there's
will
a
be
good
trying to
candidate that they
call
back.
former President Trump at some point here in the not too distant future. And there the signal of triumph
China wouldn't have missed.
from former President Trump as he was put into that armored car and taken to, we believe, quite possibly the hospital we were just showing you a moment ago. Our investigative correspondent Tom Winter is with us. He continues to dig out fresh details. What more can you tell us, Tom?
Lester, a couple of these things coming from official statements from law enforcement, or for 3 to 4 law enforcement officials, to myself and our colleague Jonathan Dienst. We know that the FBI is now on scene and is assisting the United States Secret Service along with the U.S. Attorney's Office in their investigation into this shooting today at the Trump rally. You were just asking a question about whether we know whether or not the former president was shot directly, either grazed in the ear or in the cheek, or whether or not this was a ricochet. That's something that they're still trying to get a handle on, and whether or not a piece of glass was what may have struck him. But either way, he obviously, from the photographs, was struck in some fashion by something. The other information that we were being told, and I'm going to bring in the reporting of my colleague Kelly O'Donnell on this as well, is that this shooting happened outside the Secret Service perimeter. So for folks that have attended any sort of political rally involving either party, involving a presidential candidate or a former president, you'll notice if you go that you are wanded, or you have to go through a magnetometer, kind of like an airport-style security, if you will. That happens within the perimeter of the event. And leading up to the event, the U.S. Secret Service,
by the way, they immediately fucking said, like, random Antifa guy Mark Violetta is responsible.
That nobody's
and it's like they had no
waiting
fucking
for a
idea.
Rally to begin.
Like, nobody
they
knew.
try to establish a perimeter that would allow them to be able to have real control over the event. So what we're being told is that this shooting happened outside of that secure perimeter from a high point. Specifically where it is, I can't yet tell you. We're waiting to hear about that, but that's some of the information that we're waiting to get on. As far as what you're looking at on screen at the moments that this happened, this is standard protocol. You're looking at the heavy weapons teams that immediately went up on stage. Then you're looking at the Secret Service close protective detail of former President Trump, and this would be very similar at any event involving a former president. That they immediately surround him. Obviously, the Secret Service agents there are putting their lives into their hands if this individual was going to continue to fire. Speaking of the individual that law enforcement believes is deceased, that individual, the alleged shooter rather, is deceased, as I mentioned. That individual may have been shot by law enforcement. That appears to be coming into clarity at this time. We're still waiting on the specific details of that, whether or not that was a counter sniper team or somebody who was close to him. I suspect we'll get more details on that closely. As far as who did this and what their motivations are, there's some background information coming into view, Lester, but as you can imagine, there are a lot of names on social media at this hour. There are a lot of names that have been mentioned to us, and we're really trying to get a lot more clarity on that before we suggest a possible name of
a lot of
the
shots were fired. I suspect that they probably packed them up
ongoing threat
fairly quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Looking for anybody else, but this is now a full-blown federal criminal investigation, as you can imagine, and they will certainly try to determine whether this individual had any help. Not that we've received any indication.
Deep state assassination.
Someone said first shot of Trump leaving the fucking hospital. Trump attempted deep state assassination. Yeah, let's hear from this.
Ladies and gentlemen,
guy.
I told you that we're not in normal times. World War III, nuclear war is this close. They just fired 5 shots at Trump and hit him in the side of the head.
Hey.
And the media's like, oh, big deal. He survived an assassination attempt. This is crazy town. Biden is a complete puppet. The New World Order is melting down everywhere. And I believe they're getting ready to kill Biden and blame it on a Trump supporter. I've been saying that for over a year. So President Trump in Pennsylvania gets shot at, gets hit in the side of the head.
So
so
I've been saying the opposite.
Yeah, you've been saying the opposite of what is about that. What just happened? He's like, I've been saying they're gonna try to assassinate Biden and blame a Trump supporter. It's like, okay, well then the exact opposite of that happened. So what do you mean? He needs to pay the Parkland family. He's got to make that money somehow. Yeah, he's so cooked, bro. That looks like neatly trimmed hedges behind him. Like, what's going on?
He's in a nice place.
Yeah, how is he still at a nice house and shit? I thought he was done. Like, what's that about?
That image of him up there with the blood on his face, defiant, is incredible. And now the deep state that's committed all these crimes and opened the borders and human trafficked and started World War III, they are so desperate, they're going to go for broke. But I've told Trump, I've told his campaign, you've got to be more careful. We got to pray for President Trump right now. This is such a dangerous time. I'm in Northern California with what would be a huge story breaking tomorrow, and it's still going to break. massive story we're working on right now, okay? Secret mission. And we'll still break it. But, ladies and gentlemen, this attempted assassination of Trump means we're not in Kansas anymore. And now they've tried to kill him with a gun. They're going to try to poison him. So Trump, inside circle, listen to me. And I know you've listened before. You've had the Secret Service call me. I've briefed him on stuff. Listen to me.
I know the Trump inner circle does watch him, but it is funny to think that like he's briefing the Secret Service. Like, okay, brother, sure.
You got to take my supplements.
I'll bring it. He's like, listen, I briefed the Secret Service. I told him a Chinese communist, Ukrainian, Chinese communist, Ukrainian trans black woman was going to take shots at the president.
That's why I always take my anti-assassination pills.
Yeah.
You can get them for $5.50.
I told him, yeah. The only way to save you is colloidal silver.
Steps, but it is the kind of gesture and important connection that actually does send a message right now that this is not about the politics of the moment and that there are bigger issues here with the current president and several former presidents talking about no room for political violence. We're hearing that from many elected officials on Capitol Hill as well.
What the
And right
fuck?
now we're in a period of a few different streams of information. What is the investigation producing? What is...
Listen, lightning never strikes twice. You know what I mean? Like, he already survived one assassination attempt. He's probably good for, like, at least a year. You know what I mean? Like, I doubt that he's going to get popped twice. That'd be crazy. Feel me?
Of a loved one in a campaign, it might be a car accident. We've seen all those iterations before, and there's typically a quieting period where both campaigns turn down the volume, everyone catches their breath before the rigor of a campaign resumes again. So this is a critical evening to gather facts, to get a sense of the scope of this, for direct communication between President Biden as a person and former President Donald Trump as a person, and not so much as candidates or in their office and former office. That's part of what's playing out here. Now, the president indicated he would speak again or communicate again if there were further developments.
This is your fault.
And there are questions to be identified about what next steps there should be, and are all the resources there. Even a question about where does former President Trump go in the immediate hours ahead. He, of course, was on the road as a candidate in Pennsylvania. What is the...
All right, shut up, mainstream media. The king is talking. Said, I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement. He truthed. Okay, he's truthing right now. For their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter. I'm shocked that he didn't immediately say, like, this was a Chinese, Ukrainian black woman who's also trans. Like, it's actually, this is shocking. I don't know if, like, the fucking, I don't know if that shot concussed him into like doing a normal thing all of a sudden, but like this is a wild way to operate here. Nothing is known about this time of the shooter, and he's not speculating, who is now dead. Nuts. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and I immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America.
How can you finish that with God bless America?
God bless America.
Because God saved him.
What? Better resolution? The shooter was a right winger? I doubt that the shooter was a right winger, dude. Oh, don't do the liberal version of what the fucking the Republicans are doing. I mean, I see it. Like, I see the photo, and he's got one of those like grunt force shirts on. Okay.
I mean, I got those as well.
But like, yeah. He's got one of those like grunt force ass shirts on, you know, those like fucking military LARPer yee ass like shirts.
Military fatigues as well. The pants are kind of like khaki.
Khaki? Oh yeah, he does.
You guys don't say that?
Khaki.
Khaki.
You know. The Lord wants him to be president. Anyway.
How far away was he?
What?
120 meters, apparently.
Yeah, he was far. He was not a part of the he was not a part of the rally. Like he was on top of a container, which is crazy. That's a major L for the Secret Service, for the record. Like, actually.
Just someone being up
You
there
got
the
some
whole
homie
time.
with a fucking rifle on top of a goddamn container taking pot shots at the president. Like,
it was 100 meters away. That's not that far. That's
no.
crazy
Okay,
that it was that close.
all I'm saying is this. That fucking guy on the Tyler Oliveira video was right when he said someone's going to try to assassinate the president.
Yeah.
He said 6 miles away, though.
He said 6 miles
That's
away.
A little bit closer.
150 meters, 400 feet.
150, though. It's like just more than a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, there you go.
Law enforcement snipers were already facing the direction of the shooter seconds prior to the shooting. I'm amazed they did not see the shooter crawling into position for his shot. That's a mere 400. Yeah, by the way, this is literally the reason why it's like so funny in a very serious, very obvious way. This is hilarious to be like, I can't believe the violent rhetoric. I can't believe the divisiveness. It's like, meanwhile, this was on the fucking poster behind them. Like, he was making arguments about how like undocumented migrants are coming in and invading the fucking country and doing like, you know, doing violence and madness.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this one's loud. Okay, I think the first couple of shots are like from, yeah, look at this guy.
Oh, wow.
Like, there, he's right there. He's like literally right fucking there. Senior reporter covering investigations at Capitol Hill for ABC says the shooter at the Trump rally fired as many as 8 rounds from an AR-style rifle while perched on a rooftop adjacent to the venue. Law enforcement sources told ABC News. Shooter was 200 to 300 yards away at the time of the gunfire, the sources said.
Couldn't be.
Yeah, that fucking dude with the funny ass Trump visor was most likely correct in his original eyewitness testimony. No, that's not the shooter, guys. No, that's Secret Service. What do you think that do you think that that's the shooter? No, man. I'm saying like he's right there, as in like the Secret Service is right there.
Why didn't the cameraman stop it? That is crazy.
Wait, he's aiming too.
Are they always aiming?
And look what happened to
No, they are always aiming. I thought he like perched up though. I was wrong. I feel like he just like leans into it. Of course they're always aiming. I meant like I thought he moved like right before the shot.
And
look, see his head moves.
Took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah, he's.
Why are these guys not moving? Like, some people get down. What is people that used to guns that they don't?
No, I think they think it's like
Probably
fireworks
20
maybe.
million people.
Look, there he is.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah,
How he's looking?
No, I think he shoots. Like, I think you see him shoot.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, yeah. Always scanning. Scanning for threats.
This is where the shooter was, it looks like. Yeah, he was on top of these like container things. Yeah.
It's such a massive space to get there on the roof. Like it.
But he's so
Seeing
close.
A guy walking around.
No, he's like literally looking right at him, which is crazy.
Insane.
Where's Mark Wahlberg when you need him the most? Oh, Alexa's Uber Eats. How the fuck do they not have agents on the roof? Yeah, I don't really know. Anyway, update from Secret Service is that 1 has been killed and 2 is critically injured. Here's the latest information from our investigation. We're grateful to the Secret Service team and our law enforcement partners. During President Trump's rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on the evening of the 13th of July at approximately 6:15 p.m., a suspected shooter fired multiple shots towards the stage from an elevated position outside the rally venue. U.S. Secret Service personnel neutralized the shooter, who is now deceased. Photo of the bullet whizzing past them. Wait, what? No.
No, I don't believe that.
Is this real? No fucking.
No,
Who is
that's
this
not real.
guy? No.
No.
No, I don't think. Is that? There's no way that's real. Would that even? Why would
No, like the frame rate would have to be way too high. They're not
Yeah,
shooting
no,
at
I don't
that.
think so. The direction is like not correct either. So I doubt it. It's just a chemtrail in the background. Yeah. U.S. Secret Service personnel neutralized the shooter, who is now deceased. U.S. Secret Service quickly responded with a protective measure, and the former president is safe and being evaluated. 1 spectator was killed. 2 spectators were critically injured. The incident is currently under investigation, and the Secret Service has formally notified the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So they shot at a bunch of people, I think, potentially. You need a slow-mo guy like a 10K camera to pick that up? A Chinese chemtrail from Ukraine? Could be. What is this? Geolocated proof of the location of the shooter? Yeah. Yeah, this video is the one that was like circulating around of the dead dude on top of the fucking on top of the barn. That's like right there. I'm not going to show it to you right now. Trump said he was, for the record, just so you know, Trump said he was hit by a bullet. Trump said he was hit by a bullet. A source who's spoken with a member of the Secret Service tells TMZ Trump was not hit by a bullet. Rather, a bullet hit his teleprompter and the glass struck him in the ear. Trump is saying he got hit by a bullet. Would you guys... Oh, that looks good.
Would you like some?
No. Do you think Trump will try to make it political? Yeah, I know. Just like get politics out of this political assassination. You know what I mean? Like, but also the teleprompters do look intact, so I don't know. Why is it so fucking hot in here? Trump's tweet is more anime? Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's tune into fucking CNN to see what the hell they're talking about. Clinton News Network. Bet they're celebrating right now. You know what I'm saying, brother? Bet they're having a party over there.
If you just look back in history, it doesn't take a lot to
just kidding.
To dig and find that people take cues from not just leaders, but from people around them. And when violence happens, sometimes things are uncorked, and it is important for leaders across the board, as we are seeing today, to tamp things down.
And I think that's an important point. I mean, Scott, I can feel your anger from here. I've felt that same anger too from some of the rhetoric I've heard from the former president. So what I would hope in this moment, to what you said, and we are seeing it across the board, let's all say, stop it. Yeah. Let's all just stop it. You can stop it, and I can stop it.
Come on, guys.
That's a place to start.
This is a very, very dangerous moment
Yes,
in
it
American
is.
history right now that we're watching.
Yes.
A very dangerous moment. Anderson, back to you.
I want to go to CNN's Evan Perez, who has more details from the Secret Service. Evan, what have you learned?
Well, Anderson, this is a
bold, brave take from CNN. I'm glad somebody had to say it. Somebody had to say it, and I'm glad it was them that had the bravery and the courage to say it.
The spokesman for the chief of communications for the Secret Service, he says that during former President Trump's campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, on July 13th at approximately 6:15 p.m., a suspected shooter fired multiple shots toward the stage from an elevated position outside of the rally venue. U.S. Secret Service personnel neutralized the shooter, who is now deceased. The Secret Service quickly responded with protective measures, and former President Trump is safe. One spectator was killed. And
NYPD on Fox saying his Palestine campus protesters are responsible for shooting.
No, they're not.
Why wouldn't they kill Biden then? Like, what the fuck? Like, that makes no sense. Like, why would they shoot at Trump then? The Fox News is so stupid. Like, that's such a stupid fucking... That is such a stupid fucking argument, dude. Like, what? Like,
actually saying that?
A shot from outside of the venue and managed to get to the former president. So now the question is, how did this happen? Was the Secret Service aware of this position that obviously posed a risk to the attendees, to the former president?
Were they aware?
All of those things are now part of this investigation. And of course, the nature of the injuries to those people who are injured inside, including the person who is additionally dead. But the Secret Service did shoot and killed the shooter who was outside of the venue. And it answers some of the questions or the concerns that you've heard on our air in the last hour.
I do think the Secret Service fucked up, yes.
Yeah.
Which is wild because like how the fuck do you let a dude on a white barn rooftop with a rifle get that fucking close, up close personal? How the fuck did they not actually have snipers on that rooftop to begin with? Because it seems like quite a good position to get an angle on the fucking president, which makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. Dun dun dun. It's PR. I mean, it's conspiracy theory hour. The Secret Service knew. What did they know? I'm kidding, obviously.
It's like when Alex Jones is like the deep state did it, like Secret Service is there shooting at the guy who was shooting. Like how far does this deep state go?
I do love that Trump is trying to attend the UFC.
Oh, it's great publicity for him.
Well, it's not just that, but it's like that is the one place where he is objectively the most safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like surrounded by the most like-minded individuals. Like he doesn't even need Secret Service at the UFC fight. You know what I mean? Like there's no
Khabib.
Plus lightning never strikes twice unless it's the top of the hour ad break, in which case it will strike you at the top of the hour unless you are subscribed for $6 or for free with Twitch Prime. Then you will no longer see the ads at the top of the hour if you are subscribed. Twitch Prime is free. A rally is surrounded by like-minded individuals. Lamau. Okay, facts, but it's like in a public space. It's a little different. You know? I feel like a UFC is a little different. He's like he's surrounded by killers, but in the opposite direction. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Champagne socialist. I love all the fucking weirdos that come in here to be like, this is my opportunity. Like the former president got shot at. I'm gonna make this about Hasan personally. I hate him that much. Like, just fucking kick back, man. Take your shoes off. Maybe take your socks off. Put your feet on the table. Watch what's going on. Try to learn a thing or two, you know? Nope.
Your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my... Okay, watch out.
That is so...
Imagine everyone cheering while someone is laying dead in the crowd, though. Someone else has just been killed.
They didn't see that. They have no idea. Dude, I mean, come on, bro. He's literally fucking slamming his fist up. I said every time he put his fist up, that's another 10,000 votes in a fucking swing district, okay? Like, and he swung that shit so goddamn hard, okay? Oh, my Lord, dude. Oh, my fucking Lord. Wait, the photo is actually real? It seems like it's from a New York Times photojournalist.
What? No way.
The bullet photo?
No.
How the fuck? Agent was watching you? Nice. We're changing the minds of a generation out here. Pretty sure you read his lips. He said, fight, fight, fight. Do you think this makes Trump's more likely to support gun control laws? Fuck no.
I think it's only going on the opposite direction.
Yeah. He's like, we need to make sure that thank God for guns. Thank God for law enforcement. Every American needs a gun. More guns.
Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta is a trauma neurosurgeon. He joins us now. Sanjay, obviously, I mean, if the bullet pierced the upper part of his ear, that is extraordinarily close to a shot that could have killed him.
Yeah, no doubt. And even though it appears that it was mostly the ear and the soft tissue around the ear, you know, when you're in the hospital after something like this, you have to sort of evaluate the possibility that they may have still caused a skull fracture or something else, you know, a significant blow to that part of the head. Looks like he's doing fine. And I think it's...
You can tell they're so sad.
They're
like, oh, man. Unfortunately, maybe there's a skull fracture.
A couple things. First of all,
who knows?
After you hear the bangs, and the former president raises his hand to his ear, he then seems to go down on his own. That was one important thing. He's covered up by the agents there who are protecting him, but also probably doing a little bit of what is called a secondary evaluation, making sure, or trying to determine, at least at that point, if there are any other injuries. We see what we see, but it doesn't mean that something else couldn't have happened as well in a situation like that. President stands up, he's raising his right hand. He seems to be walking on his own, you know, again, surrounded by the Secret Service agents, but walking on his own. Those are all very important.
The fist pumping is insane. Yeah. I feel like if you're Secret Service, do you let him do that?
No, I mean, but he's obviously so content brained that he was like perfect opportunity to show everyone I'm strong. Yeah, which is crazy that he do that.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, this makes Trump look
amazing.
Amazing. Like,
yeah. No, it looks so.
He got his movie star.
He looks so fucking cool. It sucks. I hate it.
Now, just under 3 hours. That if there had been any other secondary injuries or unrecognized injuries from the scene, they would have likely found those by now. X-rays, perhaps a CT scan, really examining the president all over to make sure, again, there wasn't another injury from, you know, whether it was bullet or secondary projectiles, whatever it may have been, that probably would have all happened by now, Anderson.
Again, we don't know the extent of how much, you know, wear in the ear, things like that. Is it possible that would that just heal on its own? Would it require some sort of follow-up, you know, cosmetic surgery?
It may, you know, I was looking at some of those images.
Trump going to be sexy after
this? Yeah, I want to know too, though. That's a good question.
Images, you can get a sense of the trajectory of the projectile. Stitches that would be necessary. What did it do to his inner ear? Would it cause problems, you know, longer term with hearing, things like that, balance difficulties? We don't know. I think that the biggest thing at this point is trying to figure out, was there any other secondary, more dramatic or significant injury? Hopefully not, but that's, I think, the main thing. But my guess is there will probably be follow-up necessary, if for nothing else, just for the cosmetic injury to the ear. But again, this can be very serious. I mean, there could be a skull fracture underneath that injury. There could be damage to the ear itself, the inner ear. So they may have evaluated a lot of that already. You can do those sorts of evaluations pretty quickly, but it's got to be complete. You can't just go based on what you see here. You have to sort of...
Okay, this is not enough momentum for me. I'm not gonna lie. They're being really boring. Let's look at
the most boring.
Let's look at Fox News. Let's look at actual content.
We're just all down on the ground, and people down on the ground are crying. We don't know what to do. People are just screaming and crying, and then all of a sudden people will start standing up and we start walking out, and we looked on top of the AGR building and there was Secret Service up there. They were standing around what we now know was the shooter. At that time we really didn't know where it was coming from.
And to set this up, Sean, so when we were inside there, we're in the back with the media, and then when you could see the former president wasn't too far up from us speaking, this was all happening to his right. So this AGR building that we're talking about is the American Glass Research Building. That's at like 68th and Whitestown here in Butler, so that's just outside of the ground. So it wasn't like this person entered, because we've been talking about safety and security and the Secret Service doing those pat-downs and checking bags. According to what we know right now from witnesses and the police is that this person was on a rooftop of this AGR building, which is outside of those grounds. So then you saw the people kind of surround that building. And going back to that man, though, and his family, were people crying and were people running out after they saw someone was shot?
No one really started running. We just all kind of hit the ground, and people were yelling for paramedics and police to come. And there was probably 6 or 7 state troopers that just all of a sudden showed up out of nowhere, and they hauled him off the bleachers, and who was dead at that time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for talking to us. I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad your family's okay. But I think most people are still in shock. I mean, just trying to piece this all together. But it is important to point out as we look at kind of the layout of where the former president was when he was grazed by that bullet on his ear, and then goes down, where this shooter was, according to investigators, was up on that roof of the AGR building outside of the farm grounds. Sean.
Alexis, great reporting. Let's go back to President Trump's statement on Truth Social. It pierced his upper right ear, is what he said. So what we're really talking about here is we're talking about maybe 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, and he was probably assassinated. That's how close this guy got from this rooftop. How far away was that rooftop where we believe the shooting took place?
I'm not kidding when I say
pretty close.
Sean Hannity has to be so sad.
The layout with his AGR building.
Because he actually does love Trump.
How close was this? Is that AGR building to where?
Like Tucker Carlson and everyone else, like they don't give a fuck about Trump. They hate him. Sean actually, I think, has genuine love for him in his heart, like sexually.
So the bullets would have been coming from my back, just that way.
Yeah. And as you said, we're talking about 1 millimeter. I mean, to graze the former president.
Bro, this shit rocked their fucking hearts so hard. They're using the metric system. They're talking about millimeters, okay? They're broken right now.
There was a silencer on that gun because it sounded like muffled shots, and that's why some people at first were a little slow to react because you didn't know if it was fireworks. I think people thought the speaker blew, but it was a fun and exciting atmosphere. He was working the stage. It was a typical Trump rally. I think people do think about safety and security when you go into a huge event like this, and when there's so much tension around politics, people get a little bit worried for their safety, but nobody ever thought this was going to happen from the people we've talked to, Sean.
Yeah, very clear to me as somebody who's been shooting since he's 10 years old. When I heard the sound over and over again, it was very clear to me that was the sound of a gunshot. And Selena Zito was on our air. And
he's like, it felt like I got shot when I watched Trump getting shot. That's what Sean Hannity's saying. Mike Collins, GA. The Republican District Attorney in Butler County, PA, should immediately file charges against Joseph Robinette Biden for inciting an assassination.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. Dude, he's right. I don't know if he knows this, but the Supreme Court made that legal, by the way. Like, it's going to be all right, I think.
A passionate debate. First, now we go for more and the latest update. Our own Peter Ducey. Peter, what's the latest where you are?
Sean, the latest is that President Biden says from Rehoboth Beach, where he's vacationing for the weekend, he does not know enough to judge whether or not this was an assassination attempt or not. He says he has an opinion about that, but he won't share it yet. The press pool that is traveling with him on this out-of-town trip has not been told that they can go home for the night. So it's possible we will hear from him again once more information is out there. It is possible that we will just get some more written information. The president says he is trying to get in touch with Donald Trump. I reached out to a White House official. It does not sound like that has happened yet. They're going to keep us posted. And President Biden, the big point that he was making while he was denouncing this action is he said Trump had a rally that should have been able to go off peacefully without any problem. He said the idea that there's political violence in America like this is just not appropriate. He's asking everybody to condemn it. A few minutes after this happened, I phoned a very high-ranking...
I'm sorry. It's just so funny when like a Republican says, like any Republican talks about divisiveness or political violence.
What would be happening? And this official... hadn't heard about it yet. And so this isn't the kind of thing where, even though it is such a potentially destabilizing political action, it's not like everybody at the White House just gets a buzz on their phone that it happened. They find out about this stuff the same way that we do. And we go to a lot of events like this. Trump as president, Trump as a candidate, Biden as president, Biden as a candidate. And it's very notable that they're saying now the shooter came from outside the perimeter, because to get in, everybody has to empty their pockets. You can't.
Oh, no. Fox News is cutting out. No,
This location outside of the venue where the rally was happening. Again, that seems to match what Elena is watching right there behind her. So that's what we know at this hour. Anderson, the other thing that I think this raises, obviously, is the ongoing investigation. They're going to, they know exactly who this person is by now. And they're going to do the necessary work to figure out everything about that person's background, to find out any political beliefs, obviously anything that could explain the motivations, given the fact that we do not have a suspect alive now at this point, according to the Secret Service. So now the work is going to be done the hard way, Anderson, which is to gather evidence from that person's background.
So Evan, just briefly, let me just clarify. It's
bullet fly past Trump's
rally
head.
Goer killed.
Trump touching his
and
right
now
ear
you've
and then
learned
removing his hand with blood on it.
Others have been wounded. That's correct?
Were wounded. That's according to the Secret Service statement.
Okay, so none of that includes the gunman himself?
Right, exactly. The gunman is a separate person who's been killed by the Secret Service.
All right, Evan Perez, thank you. John Miller has new reporting about the shooter. Let's go to him. John, what have you learned? John Miller, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Anderson.
Okay, great.
What we're learning now from law. You can hear me all right?
Yes, now. Go ahead.
What we're hearing from law enforcement sources now is that an individual was seen walking through the field by people who were outside the rally. People outside the rally couldn't see, but they could hear, so they had gathered in this field.
We're having trouble.
At some point, they see him on the roof with a rifle.
John,
I'm going to try and reconnect.
Yeah,
then.
we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you shortly. Tim Naftali, you're joining us here in New York, presidential historian. Obviously, this is not something. There was the attack on Steve Scalise. We have seen obviously a number of threats that have been intercepted by law enforcement over the years, but probably not since Ronald Reagan. At the presidential level has this occurred.
Not since Ronald Reagan, but I want to read you something that I think
we at HBO wish the President Trump a recovery, his speedy recovery.
Written. Tonight, this nation faces once again the consequences of lawlessness, hatred, and unreason in its midst. It would be wrong, it would be self-deceptive to ignore the connection between that lawlessness and hatred and this act of violence. That was Lyndon Johnson in June of 1968. A few years later, another presidential candidate was attacked. In 1972, George Wallace was gunned down. He survived, but he was paralyzed. We have had very violent political contests before. And it's something we ought to remember. We are capable of this as a nation. The people who do it, of course, are outliers, but they are a product of the extremism and the anger and the hatred that sometimes pulses through our elections. So tonight is a terrible reminder of another period in our history, but it's something that seems to be bred in the bone. And I can understand Scott's anger and sadness. I feel it too. I feel it for everyone. I feel it for everyone in our country because the gunman attacked democracy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
To eliminate a choice.
Bro, this kind of rhetoric, unironically, is going to get the moderates to be like, maybe we should reconsider Donald Trump as a reasonable president, as a reasonable candidate. I'm just letting you guys know, because some chatters are like, oh, what's the future here? What's the future here? People are tuning into CNN, and CNN is literally just like, yeah, democracy was on the ballot, and you know, democracy's on the ballot, and it can't be fought with bullets or some shit like that. You know, they're trying to be all poetic, wax poetic. This is how you get Trump to go from a guy who literally moments before he gets grazed by a bullet on his ear, okay, is talking about like genociding Mexicans. Like,
yeah, it's gonna make him so much more radical. Surely.
It's crazy that these guys are like, yeah, and that's why this man, you know, this is not how we do this. This is not how we do this. You know, we have to dial it back, please. Like they're just doing like the centrist shit, that the mealy-mouthed liberal centrist bullshit that is unironically going to turn Trump into more of a martyr for, you know, moderates and liberals.
Differences peacefully, where we settle them through violence. Our system is set up so that we debate our differences and we settle them at the polling place. That's how it should be. That's how democracies function. And so we don't know what motivated this shooter yet, and we shouldn't jump to conclusions. You know, John Hinckley, who shot Ronald Reagan, was disturbed. And
Shooter manifesto is up? Really?
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
We came to an assassination of the candidate here were the people who were attending this rally. You know, my initiation into politics was at a political rally when I was 5 years old. John F. Kennedy campaigning in my housing development in New York City, and that's what inspired me to politics. Never would have occurred to me or the folks, or my folks, or the people.
Dude, if you're a real one, if you're an actual bold Democratic Party legislator, you literally use this momentum. Okay, you use this momentum to straight up turn around and be like, listen, it's time for gun control. Okay? Any real one that is a legit fucking politician uses this opportunity and this momentum for some gun control, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody come out and just be like, listen, we got to do a bipartisan solution to this. This is unimaginable. This is unacceptable. Violence like this is so goddamn commonplace. Okay? Violence. What is this? We come to Hasan for trusted news source on Trump because we know you hate him. I mean, yeah, I do hate him. And no, him getting shot and looking super cool and throwing up a fist right after he got shot is not going to change my opinion on what he was saying 3 seconds before he got shot at, which is like, again, we need to do concentration camps and mass deportation of like 20 million Mexicans and anyone that I have declared a Mexican for having somewhat Hispanic origin is not the guy I'm going to turn on all of a sudden and be like, oh, well, he was such a small bean. Lamau Shane Gillis guessed it. No, he didn't, because he was much funnier.
It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me.
Imagine if Trump did that. He's such a bad shooter.
Implied what? What did I imply? GG? What? What are you guys talking to each other about? I don't even know. Didn't Shane Gillis talk about Trump getting assassinated and how funny it would be? Like obviously not, like he wasn't, calling for his assassination. No, I'm not trying to fucking, I'm not trying to get him clapped. Do you really think that considering the martyr aspects of this and this likely push some right wings to the alt-right, do you think this will embolden Trump to amp up the fascist rhetoric? Maybe it'll fucking force him to reconsider. I don't know. He's already hit all the fucking high notes. What is he gonna do?
But back to what I was saying about what I said was true. If you had to rank them from least funny to funniest assassination, easy number one. For real, he'd be talking shit like when it happened. He'd be doing like a rally. He'd be like, my opponent's gay. I walked in, I saw him. I said, wow, this guy's gay. The shooter would be coming out and be like, sit down. You're gay. You're gay. Get hit. He'd definitely make a funny noise into the, like he'd get hit, be like, ah, and fall. He'd fall funny.
He did. Okay, he kind of clocked it. He did say, my shoes. Get my shoes.
Did he say that?
Some chatter just said, you are literally such a cuck and got permit, but here's their fursona. The only pic I could link. Damn, dude. Wait, they're furries who hate me and love Trump? Like, that's a real thing?
Things are changing now that he's
American politics is a sea of contradictions. Like, I love that shit. Man, God, I love America. God bless America.
As
this
we
shit won't happen in Australia.
You
know what
are
I mean?
in Milwaukee and the week ahead. Do you see any potential changes? And I would expect we're probably going to see changes going forward as it relates to whether or not there are going to be outdoor events like this for President Trump. He loves to do his rallies.
Yeah. Sean, is all great points, and a bit premature at the moment, but you're right about the rallies, and they'll be second guessed, and at some point the president will get back out there because, I mean, you just saw this tonight. I think two things immediately, then I'll come back to Milwaukee.
I think these guys are not up to date.
America and the world are watching through this 2-minute and 30-second video clip is extraordinary. And all the still photographers who, you know, Sean, from these rallies are there in the front row and they're looking up at the stage. So they're looking up at the president at the time. And to see this history captured, and I don't know what he said when he came up from the podium. But we heard on the microphone he said, "Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes." I think he said it 3 times. I think he's saying fight. That's just me reading his lips. Fight a couple times. Oh my
God, dude, this is so. Dude, Fox News is so like we look at like North Korean propaganda or whatever, but like this is literally identical, dude. This is
that they could stand.
Dear leader said, "Fight."
Gets shot in the middle of a perfect layup.
In what he perceived as his possible final moments, he said, fight for me. No, he said, ow. That's what he said, bro.
Perimeter. You can, Sean, you can probably see a direct line 200 or 300 yards away where you need to be on the lookout. Now, Dana and I were discussing this interview that's circulating out there that the BBC has. Now, we have not spoken with this man, but he attended the rally and he told the BBC that he saw someone on a rooftop.
Oh, when he's slinging his fist, yeah, he is. He is saying that. But I thought he meant like when he was getting shot. When he was
investigation. Let's see where that story goes.
I think
for Milwaukee, Sean, yeah. I can tell you already. Security.
Yeah, no, he did. He did say that when he was wagging his fist in the air, looking chill as hell. How fucked? Oh, dude, it's so fucked. I already said Reagan landslide. Reagan landslide.
Figure out a way to balance all of this and keep it safe in Milwaukee for the next, well, what is it, Dana? 6 days?
Yeah.
Starting now.
Yeah, you know, Bill, as I listened to you, you talked about that BBC report. I saw the same report, and it's chilling if, in fact, there was a warning given ahead of time about somebody seeing somebody on a roof. And then, of course, you got to wonder, I'm looking at all of these people behind the president. I'm sure all the people in the audience, all of them have.
Bro, if he actually got shot and killed, it would probably be worse. Because, like, I think QAnon MAGA guys, like the most ride or die MAGA guys, will be even crazier. At least now there's, like, still an outlet for them to lend their frustrations. And it's just by like voting and believing in even more conspiracy theories or whatever. But overall, like if he actually got shot and killed, holy shit, dude, they'd be crazy. Yeah, he wouldn't get elected. Yeah, you know who else would get elected? A more competent Republican. This is why I keep saying like Donald Trump needs to stay in the fucking race so he can lose. okay? A more moderate Republican is going to fucking wipe out the Democratic Party. Trump is the best possible person that the Democrats could run against right now. The man that is singularly responsible in the eyes of the entire country, whether they support him or whether they hate him, for abortion being banned. Okay?
You have so many stories of people who will say, well, I was supposed to be on that flight. I decided to take a later one, or I changed my flight at the last minute, or I happened to miss my flight, whatever it was. Like, there are so many of those stories. This story, and it will be the political shock of certainly my lifetime. I hope that this is never ever happens again. I think the other thing is, Sean, there was a lot of consternation for the family of RFK Jr. because of what happened to his father and the political violence there. And there was a request for him to get Secret Service protection earlier. And as a former president, you might not have enough security. That will probably change as well going forward. And we need good men and women to continue to go into the Secret Service. It's an amazing job.
Well, I could not believe that request was denied. And I remember saying, this man lost his father and his uncle, and he is a presidential candidate, and he does deserve Secret Service protection. And I was shocked that was denied.
Sorry, little bro, you don't get it until you get above 9%, okay? You got to get to 10% to get Secret Service.
From Donald Trump as part of, quote, retribution against Donald Trump, which I thought was insane. Again, that's the political side of it, Bill.
Yeah, and Sean, listen, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be run back now that have been said in recent days or weeks or even months, and it's not going to be a flattering picture, which again, I think is going to remind us to find a way to lower the temperature. Joe Biden can start that. He said he's going to talk to Donald, in his words, Donald this evening, and all likelihood, we'll see whether or not that happens. I imagine the former president would take that phone call. And then Joe Biden also said, I might see you again later tonight. So I would anticipate perhaps another statement from President Biden this evening in Rehoboth, Delaware. With regard to the president, I don't know where he pops up, but we read the statement. But he's going to, because we saw him, fists clenched.
And you might even see him
standing
tonight.
Up. Yeah, correct. Yeah, and we'll wait for that moment.
I think that will be very iconic, as Dana pointed out, and Dana, I'll throw it to you. I think that picture, and knowing him as well as I do, and knowing him for as many years, almost 30 years now that I've known him, I know for a fact that he wanted to project that strength. That is who he is. It's in his DNA, Dana.
Yes, and the other thing I wanted to tell you is that maybe if they could just rerun, I know we've seen it a lot, but of the moment when the shots are fired. One of the things that's pretty incredible about his instincts as well, aside from wanting to reassure people that he was okay,
I'm very curious of what the people who are mad at the Democratic politicians for making statements, wishing Trump's recovered, want them to say, yeah, what do you expect? They're like, do you want AOC to come out and be like, I'm really sad that the shooter missed? Like, they're not going to say that. Like, you're crazy. Anyway, Trump motorcade just left Butler Memorial Hospital en route to Pittsburgh. Bro, you could have been there, big dog.
Kicking myself. Thinking was kind of cool, though.
Is Pittsburgh where the UFC is? Is that actually where he's going?
No, I think UFC's in Denver. There's a video of the SS Sniper shooting the shooter. Yeah, I know. I watched it already. I can't watch it on stream though. Wildwood Boardwalk already printed T-shirts.
Got there fast.
They are so shooting makes me stronger, bro. They didn't even think like they didn't even try to like come up with like a better fucking statement.
Or maybe they had it printed before.
Yeah, it's an inside job.
Someone investigate those guys.
Yeah. AI. It's so ugly. I mean, I don't think these guys are going for
And for the American patriots in the audience who helped innocent victims, political violence in all forms is un-American, unacceptable. And then he did add, as you rightly point out, Bill Hemmer, there are many questions and Americans demand answers. I have already contacted the Secret Service for a briefing, and I'm also calling on the Secret Service Director, Kimberly.
There's no way.
That's fake, right? Yeah, it's fake tweet.
It could be real.
No,
Imagine
it's
how many
fake.
people
It's
tweet
fake. It's
everything
fake.
at every moment.
It's fake. M. Hood said it's fake. It's fake.
Thank you both. We're going to check back in with you later on as our coverage continues. But first, joining us now, Dave McCormick. He was in the front row. He was at President Trump's rally tonight, sitting there when this shooting started. He's also the Republican Senate candidate going up against incumbent Senator Casey. Dave, wish, of course, we had you on under better circumstances. You had a front row seat, literally, to what happened. Tell us what.
50 Cent posted it.
I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and niggas trying to take my life away.
Dude, he's coming out. There's so many cool songs he can use to come out on stage now. Like he could literally. There are so many songs about being shot and surviving. Like
It's a very American genre.
who shot you? He could come out with that. He's gonna sweep Biden. You're cooked. First of all, I'm cooked. There's nothing I could do. I'm not the Democratic Party. No way he comes out with rap with his base. Yes, the new Republican Party doesn't give a fuck about that, dude. What are you talking about?
And then over my shoulder, I realized that someone else had been hit, and unfortunately, someone behind me had been in the stands and had been shot, and it looked like he was very seriously wounded. There were his people next to him were trying to treat him, but there was a lot of blood. And so you have the entire 15,000 people, many of them on their knees, down because we didn't know if the shooting was over. We didn't know if there was one shooter or two shooters. And the president, showed real strength and composure and reassurance as the Secret Service moved him out, and eventually the crowd dissipated. But we really didn't know what was.
15,000 people there. You're fucking delusional, dude. Did you get shot? Like, what the fuck's going on? So there's like maximum 1,000 people. Okay. Yeah, the town that he's in does not have 15,000 people in it. Yeah, there was 1.5 million people. It's the entire state that was there. So the one thing I'll say is, like, events like this and events like Brandon having this massive like fuck up on the debate stage cause more normies to start paying attention to politics. So I guess like the one way that this actually works in favor of the Democrats is that like people start paying attention to politics again. And then they start hearing Trump be like, we have to literally kill everyone who I suspect is Hispanic. And then when they hear that, they're like, oh my God, this guy's crazy. And then maybe they'll be panicked enough to vote against him again. That's it. And that's like maximalist copium, okay? Like that's maximum amounts of copium. And even then they are not going to vote for Biden most likely. You don't care that people lost their lives? What do you want me to do? Like, do you want me to fucking cry for the next 7 hours? Like, what are you talking about? I'm reporting on the news, dude. I don't know if you know this because you're just checking in. I've been covering an act of fucking genocide for the past 9 months, every single fucking day. I didn't see your bitch ass cry one single tear back then. Okay, what are you talking about? I'm doing the news. This is the news, okay? What the fuck? And then if I cry, you'd be like, oh, fake tears. Fake tears from this fucking demon rat. He doesn't care. Like, yeah, thoughts and prayers, okay? Does it embolden him or does it humble him?
Considering he did like a fist pump immediately, like as it happened, I reckon emboldened probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching him come out at the UFC
came within
tonight.
a millimeter or two
someone out,
of an
get into the
assassination tonight. And it's got to be, it's shocking the core of a nation as well. That in an adjacent rooftop that this can happen. What's your overall view and your overall initial thoughts?
You contradict yourself 10 times.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that
Wait, what?
we had a little bit of time. I was very emotional earlier. I'm not sure I could have done television because I've known Trump for about 30 years. So I'm watching a personal fight.
He didn't die. Like, he survived, bro. He's stronger than before. This is the greatest gift that could have happened to him, okay? What do you mean? I'm in tears even thinking about what could have happened. Like, he literally, not only was he shot, he was shot at, but he straight up survived it with like a little fucking grazing of the ear. And now he's going to move on to win a 50-state landslide. And this motherfucker is like, oh man, it's so sad. I can't believe it.
Dude, does
more than
Fox
any
News usually
president
do this?
since Abraham Lincoln.
Where everyone's trying to show off
Fucking
their, like,
stupid ass take, almost got killed, not just shot. You think these lifeless, bloodless husks like Newt Gingrich are not thinking about the political calculation of how awesome this is for Donald Trump's prospects of re-election? Are you fucking stupid? Are Republicans this stupid? I mean it, seriously. Because, like, I don't personally think the Democrats have a heart, but it must feel like you legitimately think that a guy like Newt Gingrich, a political operative for longer than you have been alive, is genuinely saddened by the events. Are you fucking that dumb? Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I think it's just funny. I guess I don't watch enough Fox News, but like all the presenters seem to be trying to prove their Trump credentials constantly. Every single person's like, well, I've known him 15 years. Like, I've known him for 102 years. Is this just when he's getting shot, or is this just what they do the whole time?
No, this is what they do the whole time.
And putting up his fist and saying fight to remind the crowd that he was going to go on, and as our champion, he wanted us to go on with him. I thought that'll go down in history, and that will help define who Donald J. Trump is.
You know, I'm listening, and it just, I've known him 30 years like you have, Mr. Speaker, and I had a lot of the same emotions that you had at the time. And then when you point out very vividly and very...
Obviously, people are going to be shocked and sad that their friend got shot at and hit. Come on. Could be more than politics to some people. Dude, these are lizards wearing human skin, and not even a good one at that. Look at him. It's like, it's literally drooping. Flimsy. And you're over here being like, nah, dude. No, that's his friend. He kisses him every night. He gives him little baby kisses before tucking him into bed. Like, these are monstrous, soulless goons. And not just because, I'm not saying that just because they're Republican. Plenty of them on the Democratic ticket too. Plenty of them on the Democratic side. The only person who I legitimately think is sad is Sean Hannity, because Sean Hannity does actually have a genuine, non-platonic, romantic interest in Donald Trump. Like, he actually wants Trump to blow his back out. Newt Gingrich, by the way, the guy that they're talking about as though he has a soul, literally left his wife because she was dying of cancer. Okay? And he's not the only one. I think John McCain did a similar thing as well.
He knew Trump for 32 years. How long did he know his wife?
Yeah, that's true. Fair. These are all just WoW players. Every single band. Go back to burdening your elderly parents and head back to Asmus chat, you cyst farms. Like, they got bored. They got bored, and they got bored just to turn around and be like, it's time to take my talents to the political marketplace of ideas and annoy Hasan. Like, no, McCain did it too. John Edwards as well, but McCain also did it, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, all their wives had cancer?
Yeah, a lot of people's older wives get cancer, I think.
And what did you see?
Sean, you know, it was just it was a really surreal moment. Just 10, 15 minutes prior, we're sitting there, we're watching former President Trump, give a great speech. The crowd was electric despite, the heat, the weather. We saw him come out to God Bless America. And it was just a great moment. The crowd was just really happy to hear him and see him and be there. And, then all of a sudden, mayhem, ensued. And we heard probably 3 to 4 shots ring out. And, most of the crowd had hit the ground after that. We heard several more shots ring out that sounded, a lot more powerful. We assumed that it was, Secret Service because they were a lot closer. And then, we looked up and you could see in the stands that there were several bodies, unfortunately, that were on the ground. There was a good deal of blood, and it looked like law enforcement was carrying a body out. We weren't sure, who it might have been. But the next thing that I knew, Sean, was we looked up and we saw the president. He stood proud. Secret Service had helped him up, and he pumped his fist at the crowd. And, the crowd went nuts. We started chanting USA. And, there was a sense of relief, I think, that overcame us because we were just happy that, President Trump was okay.
Yeah, it really is. And let me get the take of Thomas. Thomas, tell us what you saw and if it was any different. And I do appreciate both of you. I guess you were both in row 4, Thomas. Is that true?
Drunk EU chatters.
Yeah, that's correct. Before I get started, obviously my thoughts and prayers go out to the Trump family and the innocent bystanders who got hit today as well. It's very disturbing. We were only, 4 roads back from President Trump. The crowd was awesome. It was 90 degrees all day. We stood outside
Elon
for
Musk is a classic
6, 7, 8 hours waiting to see him.
Dude, that's so funny.
It's when he comes out, it's unmatched. There's no one.
That's so awesome. Elon Musk says 2 people have attempted to kill him over the past 8 months.
He's like, wait, people like me when this happens?
Yeah,
It
he's
happens
like,
all the time.
he's like, oh, Trump. Someone tried to kill Trump. Only one person tried to kill Trump. 2 people tried to kill me. It's like, yeah, people try to kill me all the time too, bro. You don't see me fucking chirping about it. Like, who gives a shit? What do you mean? You survived, bitch. Like, he's like, damn, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, he just saw this and was like, how can I make this about me? Literally. Very normal things happening on X. Jews try to assassinate Trump. Why would they do that? Like, in your world, in your mind, on what planet do you think Trump is like anti-Israel? Because I know when they say Jews, they're talking like, oh, Israel policy, right? But like, Trump is, this is so anti-Semitic, obviously, but it's also so unimaginably fucking stupid. Trump loves Israel. Trump is more popular in Israel than Joe Biden. What are you saying? Dude, modern Nazis are in a state of panic. They just refuse to recognize how much Trump glazes Israel. They're like, no, he's our guy, I promise.
Secretly, yeah.
That's funny. You have to admit the blood and the raised fist picture goes hard. No, dude, that's the brother. I saw him get shot in real time. I saw him get up in real time. That was the first thing I said. I was like, it's so done.
Yeah,
it's over.
winning.
Pack it up. The election is done today. This is the day that the election ended, okay? They're blaming the head of the Secret Service? Yes, DEI! They're saying it's a woman.
They shouldn't have put a woman in.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
She was cutting bags of Cheetos.
Is there a clip of your reaction? Yeah, it's both on my TikTok and also on my fucking... You're not hood. Stop trying to be hood, bud. What? Stop trying to be hood. What did I say that's... What?
I think you said fam.
Stop. I don't say fam. This is... I never say fam.
They look at the director as if she has anything to do with with the logistics
dude, you don't
on the day.
understand. She hates.
She said, "Guys, everyone underneath me do a slightly worse job."
Yeah, she's like,
that's my policy.
She said, "I'm a woman, and as a woman, I like doing womanly things. Okay, which is doing my job, but worse." You treat shit like it's a joke lately. This isn't a joke. Wait, what? This is the 27th director of the U.S. Secret Service. They're saying because she's a woman that she's doing a bad job. What do you want me to do? Take this
she was
seriously?
head of global security at PepsiCo. Okay,
Yeah.
That's a fucking massive job.
Yeah. Do you want me to? What do you want me to do? Take this seriously? I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. I don't believe that a woman Secret Service director is going to do a worse job. I do not believe that she was hired for the position specifically because she's a woman, as implied by the right wingers. It's so funny that he said before, like Elon Musk literally hires people like this personally, so he knows how fucking solid they are. You know what I mean? It's like, bitch, who's in charge of protecting you? So before being put in charge of protecting the president, she was guarding a bag of Cheetos.
Well, someone good's in charge because apparently someone tried to kill Elon Musk twice.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder, it'd be real funny if we found out that, like, you know, the people in charge of Elon Musk's security team also worked at Pepsi, like senior director and global security at PepsiCo. Anyway. Also, yeah, he hired a woman. He hired a woman as CEO of Twitter. Anyway, was that good? Was that, did I take it seriously enough for this chatter? I hope.
It was very somber. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I'm saddened by the events that unfolded today.
I can tell you it is in his DNA. I promise you at some point I will have a conversation with him and he will talk about...
Like, people are so stupid. What do you want me to do? Like, thoughts and prayers for Donald Trump or something? He's fucking awful. Like...
And also he's fine.
Yeah, and he survived. Like, what are we talking
and he
about?
got the best photo op he'll ever get. And he's had some good ones.
Yeah, this is the greatest day of his life. And chatters are like, why aren't you more sad about the president who wants to deport literally every undocumented migrant in the country? Why aren't you sad about it? Yeah. Show some respect, man. Where's the decorum? Like...
And we know that a lot of leaders around the world have been weighing in on American politics and the cognitive state of President Biden, et cetera. But they're watching this, too.
Elon never said anything about her being an incapable woman. He's saying she doesn't have the capacity to handle that responsibility. First of all, like, heading global security for PepsiCo is actually a fucking very serious job. Probably more serious of a job than fucking the Secret Service. That's number one. And number two, you know exactly why they're saying that. They're saying that because, oh, it's DEI. Okay? I know more than you. I'm sorry. Maybe you don't understand it. Maybe you can't read between the fucking lines. Or maybe you're being purposely obtuse right now because you think this is a matter of debate. Okay?
To be fair, Elon Musk has never said any anti-DEI stuff and doesn't really focus on it every
no,
day.
that's
It's
not a thing. That's not a thing that Elon Musk is routinely talking about, so you're right.
Fun and, you know, The Apprentice and The Real Estate Magnate. And then when he won, the tone changed on a dime, right? I mean, it was a full-on attempt, essentially, to take him down, to find ways to knock him out of office that went on really for 4 years. He was constantly handling incoming, not in the way he saw it tonight, that's for sure. I use that as an expression prior to what we saw now. But no one, regardless of what people's opinions are of the former president, I think it's tough to find anyone who has handled more
How does he look so
onslaught
good? The Secret
than
Service guys look shocked
President
and goofy.
Trump. And
He
I
is
think that you're
calm.
so right.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of
the
annoying.
best. Look at the guy on the right. He
It's
looks
kind of annoying.
horrible.
Yeah, they look distraught because they're gonna lose their jobs.
Yeah,
Trump
that's
is
it.
like, Trump looks cool and
I'm gonna
collected
be
because he's like,
president.
I'm gonna be the president again.
He looks amazing.
Dude, he is so goddamn content brain. Like,
Yeah.
it's so. What? No, this is a dumbass take. Is the fact that a roof close by was wide open is not the same that she's a woman. It's the fact that she failed to stop it. You are reading into
she's
something.
the director. She's not there. She's not
Yeah,
like
the
running
direct-
logistics. For
No,
the
the
event.
director personally was like, do not make sure that fucking rooftop is secure. I, as a woman, I'm not saying this as a woman. I'm saying this as the director of the Secret Service.
200 yards is enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything else, forget about it.
Like, oh, Jesus.
Still receiving care. I am deeply thankful for the Secret Service's swift action to keep former President Trump and rally-goers safe. The attempt on former President Trump's life is horrific
Seeing
and
that the shooter's
contrary
name
to
was Mark
everything
Vilas?
our
No,
nation
you're not
stands
seeing
for.
that. And wherever you're looking to see that, you should never look at that again. Okay? No. That's some fucking random guy that OAN decided to claim was the shooter.
Oh my God.
Dude, I love people being like, I can't believe, people aren't taking this seriously. Meanwhile, like, every fucking right-wing outlet is like already moved on to being like, this was
Xi Jinping.
this was the Chinese Ukrainians that actually did this shooting. Like, there's like dumbass right-wingers on Twitter being like, how can we make this attempted assassination of a former president about, I don't know, whoever I don't personally like?
Said the picture or not, but he was grazed in the neck.
Chinese, Ukrainian, Mexicans who are of Jewish background as well, of Jewish faith.
This,
got up
Congressman, this is your nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my nephew. They were there. I'd set them up. They went to the rally. They were in the Friends and Family Pen, which was just to the president's right, down a little bit lower on the left on the screen, but to the president's right in the line of fire. And they heard shots coming in. Apparently, there was someone also that were 4 or 5 rows behind them that was critically injured. Whenever he was shot, they realized that a bullet had grazed his neck. My sister-in-law had encouraged him to go to the first aid tent, to the triage tent. They went to the triage tent, and when they got to the triage tent, while they were there was another member of the crowd, unfortunately, that was in the triage tent that was on a gurney in the tent that had a devastating wound, had a critical wound to the head, that was dead. So. Just a horrific experience.
Well, let's talk about what the president did say about his injury. And I ask you not as a congressman, but as a medical doctor. I was shot with a bullet. It pierced the upper part of my right ear. We have gone over that head turn that everybody's been
the real
focused.
drama is, was he actually shot with a bullet, or was he actually shot with a piece of glass? Like, was he shot with or did he get hit with a piece of glass? That's the real drama. That's what I want to fucking know about. Does it matter? No, not really.
No.
But I would like to know. It is funny if Trump is lying about it and he didn't actually get shot with the bullet.
He
and
wouldn't
instead
know.
He got great. No, they said this is after he went to the hospital.
All right.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
And I'm sure that in and of itself was not exactly a comfortable moment for anybody, but God bless those men for putting their lives on the line and covering him and protecting him the way they did. When you talk about, life is really...
Are they calling him Mr. President? When you're president, the honorific stays, even after you are ratchet.
I was wondering why you were calling him president.
No. When you're the president, like, when you become the president once, like, they always say the president. Like, they'll still say the president.
And if it had
Sometimes
entered his
they'll say
head,
former, but
it would have crossed through his brain and he would have been dead. This is the closest you get to dying. And I just want to tell you a couple things, Sean.
no, they'll say
First,
former president, but they'll say President Trump. Like when they're referring to a former president, they do it, but they're not supposed to. It's not a royal title. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's still like something that most media applies. Yeah, your former highest rank, like your former highest position, is still reflected in your current title. And also, they do actually operate like it's fucking royals. So,
that was a projection of strength that I think will symbolize this event as we see it through the prism of history. It's hard in the moment to see that. We've had other moments in history. Ronald Reagan famously saying, for example, before they operated, after he had been shot, "I hope you're all Republicans." That comes to mind. Or George Bush
CNN
after 9/11 with that bullhorn. The rest of the world will soon hear from us.
Like that. But sadly, clearly someone missed that spot right there, and the shooter shot those bullets.
they're finally showing the shooter. I'm not going to show you, but
one last thing I will say. I mean, there is from additional video that is out there that shows the Secret Service. They are also at an elevated position, so they clearly had.
So CNN showing this gives it more veracity, in my opinion, gives it more legitimacy. But ultimately, I guess that kind of confirms what has been all over Twitter. I'm sure you've probably seen it. I mean, there's no blood. I can show it to you for a second. It's just not like, I'm not in the habit of like showing dead bodies in general, but because it doesn't show them clearly. Anyway, the thing is, he was on top of the barn that was like 300. I think it was like what?
Yeah,
400 feet away. It is legitimately shocking, but Robert Evans' analysis is that he looked close enough to be like law enforcement, wearing like neutral colors in general, but it still doesn't make sense.
I feel like they'd know who they got.
He's
where.
wearing tactical shit. Like, there's a pic of his face on Twitter, very graphic. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the pic of his face, but he is wearing tactical shit, as I told you guys. He was wearing like military style khaki pants, as Alexa pointed out, and he also, if the pic is gore, don't link it. I can't look at gore on. I don't want to see gore anyway.
Either, yeah.
but like I also can't look at it on. I also can't look at it on Twitch. It's TOS. So anyway, he has like grunt force style. He has like a grunt force style t-shirt type of shirt that Alexa is also known to wear. So he looked like a military LARPer. They released this photo before the shooting. Wait, they did?
Wait, what photo?
They found his, like, they leaked his identity.
What?
Yeah, he got pigmaned.
Huh.
Damn.
It's catching on.
They need to bring Pigman to save him, to fix him up. Please look at this.
I don't understand.
XXX Tentacion. It's a thing that people do side by side with, but they only did it to his ear because only his ear got grazed. Anyway, yeah.
Oh.
Trump's ear. Oh yeah, this happened in Batman.
What?
Oh my God, you're right. You're right. Do you think because a supporter died, he can't go full batshit crazy posting?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think that's gonna Stop it.
That's a decent angle. Actually, there's a better reason for why he hasn't gone fucking nutty mode. He just got almost assassinated. He's probably looking at this and is just like, I'm gonna take advantage of this. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just be cool. I'm gonna keep it cool. I'm not gonna be crazy. I'm just gonna keep it fucking cool. Fellow Aussie, think you and anyone who criticized Trump has blood on their hands?
I love Rita. She's so good.
Rita Panari.
She's like a
every
Sky
single
News.
leftist. Oh wait, this is the woman that is this
the
she
clip
covered
you.
me.
Yeah.
She covered me. Loony leftist. Loony leftist Hasan Abi came to Australia recently. Every single leftist from Biden to the CNN, the MSNBC and Washington Post, New York Times et al., activists to the celebrities who have called the man leading the polls a threat to democracy and worse, have blood on their hands.
It's so funny how happy she is that he got shot. Like the first post, like iconic. Like this is a beautiful moment.
Yeah. How was that accent? Oh.
I mean, only because there's a lot of people watching. It was very, very good.
Yeah, Hasan's really good at Australian.
It's funny, my mum just called me and was like, you need to get out of America.
Yeah, they're shooting everybody out there. I mean, she ain't wrong. Like, listen, if they're shooting the fucking president, like, you know, you as a rando, you're not safe.
All my friends are like, I can't believe you didn't go to the rally. I can't believe you
Yeah, I know,
me
me too.
Your mom being like that.
Wait. Let me throw it up.
Do you reckon he told me, he's like, guys, I'm about to do something so cool. Let me do this.
Do you reckon the president has a safe word when he's like, no, I want to risk it now?
Dude, they go USA. They don't give a fuck about
If we
nothing.
were there and people were screaming USA, I'd be terrified. But someone just got shot. What are you talking about?
Trump got the mandate of heaven. Y'all, GG. True.
Did you see the tweet about his head turning just before he was shot? People like, he turned it 45 degrees, and if he didn't, he would have been hit directly in the head.
That's God.
The former president was hit in the ear and hustled away to a local hospital. The gunman who fired from outside the security perimeter, this is new video of him on the rooftop he fired from, was killed. This is a video of him after he was dead. So one of the rally spectators was also killed. Two others were critically wounded. And we're also going to show you the this aerial photo that we have, just giving you a sense of the location of the building where the shooter was. You can see there the location of the suspect gunman's position toward the top of the screen, and you can see the approximate area of the stage where the former president was shot. It gives you a sense of the location of both,
we just
and how it was outside the perimeter.
That chatter that posted that fucking
And just a short time
tweet,
ago,
ban that
Anderson, the
fucking
former
idiot.
president posted on
He
social
posted a
media
tweet
about
replying
the
to literally
incident,
the
and he said,
fucking
among other things, this,
face of the shooter.
quote, I want to thank the United
busted
States
out.
Secret Service and all of law enforcement
definitely
for
not
their
Chinese.
rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania.
But you don't know he identified as Chinese, maybe.
That's the last he said before he got shot
in
by
my
Secret
heart,
Service.
yeah,
He's
he
like,
said, yeah, dude got fucking domed. Dude is crazy.
It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter.
Why the fuck were people saying he was Chinese? That was so crazy. Like, now it's like coming. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think that like that was the first thing that people immediately went with.
He's Chinese.
That's the New York Post wrote that in their fucking news story.
Although they wrote identified as Chinese, as if like he was asked just before he was shot.
Yeah. Anyway.
And witnessed the shootings. Dr. Mine, thank you for talking to us. Can you just tell us, first of all, where you were when the shots went out and what you did?
He was wearing a shirt for the right wing gun YouTuber Demolition
Range.
Range.
Is so chill. He has not moved the entire time.
This guy.
No, the guy up to the left.
There's a lot of guys who are chill. Like they're like, another day.
It's like a normal American thing.
Another day, baby.
President Trump was speaking at the
Guy's looking the other way.
And once the president was taken,
He was wearing khaki shorts and a gray shirt. Do you think that's tactical? Was he wearing shorts? I thought he was wearing khaki pants, like military fatigues.
No, shorts.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell from the photo if he was wearing shorts. I mean, I still think it's ridiculous, by the way. I think it's like absolutely ridiculous that they just didn't see a dude posted up that wasn't them. You know what I mean?
Someone sitting next to me and said, "Oh wow, who brought firecrackers to the rally?" And I knew immediately it was gunfire. My friend, hit the deck. I didn't hit the deck initially because I saw where the rounds coming from. There was a man in the bleachers right adjacent to me that took a gunshot.
He's dead ass wearing a Demolition Ranch shirt.
No fucking way. No way.
Wait, is that the Brandon? Wait,
no way. That's not Brandon.
that's a different gun
that's a
YouTuber.
different YouTuber. Yeah, he's like the biggest gun YouTuber.
Bro.
At the podium, and that's when I saw President Trump
Wait, is this for real? I mean, you can't see any blood here, but
wait, no, that is real.
I was in the seated section right in front of the bleachers, so I jumped because I'm a physician, so I thought it would render aid, so I jumped the
what the fuck?
between the seated section.
He's wearing a Demolition Ranch shirt. Who's friends with Brandon Herrera?
The man had been, hit in the man had been hit in the head and been killed. I helped lift him up.
Photo of the officer who got the shooter, hog of all hogs. This is going to be a top of the hour ad break debate. I'm not even going to click on it yet, but I know this is going to be a top of the hour ad break debate. 100%. Okay.
But I wasn't exactly sure because they were rushing around.
Yeah, good
I was
call.
right. Fuck you, chatter.
So
Demo Ranch's merch sales are going to go crazy.
He was shot.
No, they're going to get mad at him. They're going to somehow link it back to him.
The bullet grazed the former president.
What is Demolition? I'm not American. This is just like a gun YouTuber, but I don't know if it's the same shirt or not. Don't show on stream. Check first pick.
But the bullets as they were being fired.
Oh my God! Wait.
He was in the crossfire. He was in the way. So in that.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's his merch that's on the screen there.
No. I mean, we don't know if this is him. Is the real? Is that him? Oh fuck!
Yeah, no, that is him.
Dude, I see so much gore every day. It doesn't faze me that much. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Why were they saying he's Chinese?
I don't know.
That's when I saw
It was Demolition Ranch's merch
service, pulled him to the ground and evacuated him out. But
that he was wearing.
I mean, initially,
that might be fake.
I mean, there are so many shirts of that color with the American flag on the side. It's not. I mean,
bro, if that's him,
that's him.
Is it
Who
him?
took this photo of him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone giving him back shots.
Wait, we gotta stop Trump speaking.
People responded pretty quickly.
I'm not sure when it was.
How do they have this shirt? How do they have this? Oh God.
We've now seen the aerial picture of his location, the building where he was at, and the stage where the former president was speaking. Was that a building you were aware of? Was it
Clear photo of the shooter? Not sure where the photo's from though. I don't know if that's him.
Do people take off their glasses when they're shooting long range with a rifle?
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I take my glasses off
7 shots in rapid
when I'm
succession.
shooting.
I saw a man get hit, and then I saw the rounds traveling kind of right to my left to right. And so I assumed, I thought initially,
nuts.
I'm just leaving the venue now, so I haven't seen any of the video. I've talked to
It's also,
authorities.
like,
I'm just leaving.
the only
it just seemed to me
building
like the rounds were coming at
in the
either
area?
behind
Yeah,
or
it's
just
just
above where the
insane.
bleachers
There's one
were.
place.
Bro, he
It
looks
was coming from behind.
straight
It was
up.
coming from behind the
If the
bleachers.
per,
and
I
heading
mean,
towards
even
the
from the
podium for
fucking
Trump. So where I was
like,
sitting,
don't look.
The rounds were going from
But even
left to
from the
right.
photo of like the gore photo, he just looks like such a fucking
as you said,
pasty
you're a doctor. You're familiar with
basement
shots.
guy.
You've seen the results of violence before, but being there, witnessing that, what? I know you haven't had time maybe to even think too much about it, but how are you doing?
Demolition Ranch. YouTube is killing gun channels, so I got something in the works this week.
I think in medical training, you're
Fuck that.
I'm gonna do something crazy.
So when you see
I'm about to do the
something bad
biggest
happen, you
collab in
jump on
history.
that.
Yeah, it's guerrilla marketing.
Merch drop.
There's really no aid to give.
We're joking. We're joking. We don't know if it's his shirt. We don't know if it's his shirt. Please don't kill us.
They didn't really need aid. I helped take them out of the bleachers briefly, and then I went to go check on my friends, and that's when I noticed other people were hit, but they were already being evacuated. So it's just a lot to process. I really just haven't.
I mean,
really
usually
haven't
it's
thought
just
about
like
it
a
lot.
crazy person,
Like I said, it's just-
at
it's
least
too
throughout
fresh in my mind.
history.
There's no shortage of those guys.
Well, Doctor,
It's
I'm
rarely
sorry
ever
for
like
you-
it's rarely ever like a very well organized.
Talking too
It's either like CIA
Sure. Thank you.
or You know, yeah, they blame it.
Jones said it was a deep state.
No, I'm saying like it's either like a very suspicious person, which with a lot of background in like the Navy intelligence, for example. You know, he's a Cuban or he's a
been scheduled to leave Rehoboth,
anti-communist, pro-communist, pro-Castro.
on Monday for events. That has now changed. We are learning only minutes ago that the president will now be returning to the White House tonight. Now, I have been talking to sources over the course of the evening who have told me that the mood at the White House is just utter shock. One senior administration official telling me, quote, it is just really horrible. When I asked about the security incident that unfolded at the former president's rally. Now, the president, of course, did address the nation in which he condemned political violence and told reporters that he has been trying to get in touch
who doesn't post
with
anything
the former
political?
president. Now, those remarks I'm also being told were
about
decided
the
by the
gun
president
shooter?
himself. Of
Or are you
course,
talking about the
when
shooter?
this
What are you
all
talking
unfolded,
about?
The president was at church, again, in Delaware, and it was only after he left that
I don't know if this is actual fucking merch.
on what had occurred. And it was in that moment, a source tells me, that the president said that he wanted to address the nation. And that is indeed what he did this evening. Now, of course, the Biden campaign is also changing their posturing. After huddling tonight, they have decided to pause their outbound communications and pull down all TV ads. A memo also going out to staff telling them to refrain from commenting on social media. So a lot of movement both within the White House and within the Biden campaign.
How do people
tonight,
have,
as they have
the photo, potentially the photo of the shooter? How?
Yeah.
How do you guys have the photo of the shooter before the rally?
On the day, someone's just taking pictures from
Yeah,
of it
and
from
it's like
behind.
it's a photo from behind too.
On a rooftop.
Like, how did you, like, were you there? Did you take a photo of the shooter before he shot at the president, the former president? It doesn't make sense. Guys, how many times do I have to suggest this? Staged? Yeah, I don't think it's staged, man. Like,
well, if you've been listening to the rhetoric, if you've been watching what's happening, if you've seen, and Dan did a great job pointing this out earlier, that over the course of the last 10, 11, 12 years, there's actually been numerous incidents. It is still a moment where you can't
no, I'm not
believe that you were
talking about the
watching-
gore photo. The gore photo with his face is not what I'm talking about. There's another photo of what people are claiming is like the shooter, but before he shoots.
Someone wrote, how lucky do BoyBoy and Ididathing feel for being here right now? I feel unlucky because we fucking had tickets to this rally.
No.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? People died there. Like, literally.
We wouldn't have been let in there. We would have been like
Still,
I don't know.
You would have been hundreds of meters away next to the shooter.
Yeah. We would have taken that photo from behind him.
Also, if he was a Demolition fan, Ranch fan, he hates us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I was here to kill Trump,
I heard
but
BoyBoy was
fuck
here.
you guys. I'm
Change your
gonna kill you guys
target.
instead. Like, you don't think he would kill people for that photo op? Wait, how do you see the photo? No, the photo I'm talking about is like not. It's someone who they're claiming is the shooter, but before he actually does the shooting. Also, I forgot to run the 3-minute ad break. I'm gonna run it now. And like I said, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or free. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. Man was called out to the police as a suspect. Yeah, the BBC. The photo of him from behind. I don't think this is him, man.
No, it's a random photo.
It's just a
like,
random
it's
photo.
A guy in a shirt.
Like, how is that him? I don't know.
He also looks different to the guy on the roof. He looks like a different build.
Also,
like,
the shirt had the American flag on the left, the one of the guy on the ground, because he was facing up, and the photo was from this angle. You're dead. The roof is here.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's coming from there. There's nothing on there.
Okay.
Sort through this. We just are learning, Wolf, that the FBI and the Pittsburgh FBI now is taking the lead on this investigation. So you have that aspect of it, but then the broader security concerns heading into the RNC next week and the DNC shortly after that. You had the statement from the Homeland Security Secretary saying that DHS is in touch with the campaigns and that security.
Oh, there's another witness.
What were you doing before the shooting happened, and then what did you see and hear?
I was just standing there like everybody else, waiting for Trump. And as Trump started, I noticed two officers that were looking for something or somebody. I was looking around myself and seen a guy on top of one of the buildings go in between one building to the next, and went and told the officer that he was up there. And when I went back to my spot, I heard that people could still see the person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer.
Dude, I feel like we really do have our law enforcement our law enforcement is so fucking incompetent, dude. Like, it is kind of crazy.
The person from where they were standing. So I checked that out, and I went back to tell the officer that if he came over there, he could see them. And when I turned my back is when the shots started, and then it took me a second or two to figure out exactly what it was. And then it was just getting out of there and helping some other person out with her child, and we got out, and that was the end of that. And I went and left, and that was all.
This is the other guy.
People were very frightened. Greg was someone who was here. You weren't inside the event,
nope,
but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw. And
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade.
There's nothing. I said this earlier, but there's nothing funnier than wearing a Trump 2020 visor with the fake hair. I had one of those.
If you already have a red beard.
Yeah. while also talking about like how you almost thwarted the attempted assassination of the former president, whose merch you're wearing.
And listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5.
Oh, better quality. Thank you.
Yeah, Carl, we've been talking to a number of people as they've been coming.
He's the most British man in America.
The constable. A lot of people very emotional. A lot of people very upset, as you can imagine. A lot of people very, very frightened. Greg was someone who was here. You weren't inside the event,
nope,
but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field.
What I don't understand is, like, why did the Secret Service just like take pot shots at random people, or was it the shooter that like shot random people and Trump? Like,
well, they said it was someone like 5 levels behind him that died.
Yeah,
they said 5 rows behind Trump. So I think it was shooting in that.
Oh
direction.
no, but like I thought that they also shot like I thought they also shot at like another random person.
They just shot everyone.
No,
that
they
looked
shot
like
2
the
people are in
shooter.
critical condition. One person was shot and killed. The shooter was shot and killed, and also on top of that, 2 people are in critical condition.
But wasn't that from the shooter? You saying Secret Service shot other people as well?
Like, how the fuck are there 2 people in critical condition?
Well, a bunch of shots in like a crowded area.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's what I think is nuts.
Because even Trump talked about it. Like, he said the missed shots had to go somewhere. I don't know. I mean,
I think that makes
also,
sense.
you see in the bit where the Secret Service is kind of bundling around him, there's like people with handheld like DSLRs poking it up from the crowd. I'm like, I would not hold any object.
yeah,
up in
dude,
there. Like,
are you kidding me with a
psycho.
lens? Yeah, no shot.
You a psychopath.
Yeah.
Stand by the trees up there under the shade, and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know.
They're like, sorry, we're defunded. Like, that actually is crazy. Like, isn't this guy just lying? I don't know.
Where's the good guy with the gun? We need a good guy with a gun.
Bro, photo of the dead attendee graphic. Okay, thanks, man.
Why? No,
Like,
don't even.
I don't want to see that. Like, I actually don't want to see that. Okay.
Know what was going on? You know, we're like, hey,
He's like, hey, you want to see this dude with a bullet hole in his brain? Like, like, nah, I'm good, I think. There's never really a moment where I'm like, I would like to see that.
right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this.
Also, he's on a roof as well.
And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes?
He was up.
To be fair, he gave this interview before people knew that the shooter was on a roof. So, like, that kind of increases the likelihood.
Yeah.
At the time, we didn't know where the shots had come from. And he was, like, literally, if he's lying, this Oscar-worthy performance. No, I'm telling you, like, this was, like, moments after the shooting occurred. So it actually probably lends more credibility to his statement now that we do know, confirm, that the shooter was on top of that fucking barn.
Also, if you're looking for your like moment of fame and trying to concoct a lie, you wouldn't come out looking this silly. You know,
Yeah, you wouldn't be wearing the Trump.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be wearing you wouldn't be wearing the fucking hat. Or that's the perfect.
Yeah. True. You always remember
That's
this guy.
They want you to think that way. They're like, no motherfucker looking this goofy is gonna actually, accurately assess the situation. He played a role in this.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling...
Yep.
It was 56 minutes after. Look at the top left.
I mean,
no,
that's
he
my
got not. I mean, yeah, it is 56 minutes. You're right. It was like, but still, like, no one, bro. At the time. So why do they keep saying Chinese?
That's a good question.
I genuinely don't know where that came from. Like, I actually don't know why. The New York Post straight up reported it. Like, I read the article on the other screen.
Because the fucking Falun Gong news people just obsessed.
They literally, they immediately were like, it's a Chinese guy who did this.
Yep.
Police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see.
He's got the wanted cozy. Dude, he's geared up. All right, let's look at some. Wait, what? NBC News reporting via Secret Service that the shooter may have fired up to 8 shots, speculating the lone wolf shooter is more likely party. Responsible shooting range is alleged between 200 and 300 yards. Sanjay Gupta, Anderson Cooper, CNN talking about whether or not Trump may need cosmetic surgery. BBC saying locals reported the Secret Service didn't check in with a number of local businesses near the rally before the event. I mean, bro, Biden tweeted this yesterday.
Oh, it's an inside joke. Yeah.
I banned assault weapons once. When I'm reelected, I'm willing to do it again. What did he know?
It's not like he ever wanted to ban assault weapons.
But also, I don't think assault weapons are really the problem here. Like,
no, I mean, I think
like rifles.
Yeah, no, that's what he means. But he says like no, like long barrel assault rifles.
But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Yeah, that is
Did you
crazy.
see? I mean, obviously, everyone when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, we just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching. But you're pretty sure they shot the guy.
You're talking about an assassination.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen.
Yep.
Oh, we don't know who's watching.
Let's keep these
And did you
PG.
see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
The grifters are revving up their engines. The concept of stochastic terrorism has become the left's new catch-all for mobilizing domestic security state against its political opposition. My God, I just returned from a camping trip and saw the news. My prayers are with President Trump and his family. He needs to win in a landslide. Shame on Biden administration and the media for pushing the Trump is Hitler rhetoric that rationalizes this kind of violence.
That's awesome.
Dude, you are literally a white supremacist. Like, what are you saying? My God. Dude, everyone's a liberal. Literally, everyone's a liberal. Every single one of these guys who have unironically been like advocating to kill as many migrants as possible are being like, words are violence. Your silence in the attempted assassination, if not direct murder of the president, because I feel like, what if he almost died? Okay, he almost died. What if he did die? Your silence is deafening. Words are violence. Like, you know, we can see your other tweets, right? Like, what do you mean? You work for a think tank. Your job is literally to find new ways of torturing trans teenagers and shit. Like, that's what you get paid to do.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifles.
Yeah, okay, this guy, everything he's saying came out to be completely correct.
Flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure.
Do you know
No,
what
I mean,
it
it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it.
No,
but
sure. But a high velocity
it was a
weapon.
rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
Were you outside the security perimeter?
Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
I mean, that's
insane.
That is correct, by the way. That is 100% correct. I legitimately don't understand how that happened. Yeah, the first video, this video doesn't make it clear if the Secret Service shot first or if the shooter first shot Trump, but it appears to make clear that the Secret Service spotted the shooter before he began shooting. So why didn't the Secret Service call Trump off the stage the second they spotted the shooter? Like, they are trained on him. And that's before, see, and then he starts shooting.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Look, you see that?
Yeah.
You see that? I told you.
He might not be shooting. That was after the shot. Then he suddenly looked down the scope.
Happened. Look at what happened.
Yeah.
They weren't sure. They aren't going to just start blasting Lamau. I mean, it is.
They shoot someone for climbing a roof.
Yeah, but it's a guy with a gun.
Yeah, it's just like crazy. It looks like he's trained on him. His head is moving, like he's looking directly at him.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
He picks up his rifles and adjusts further to his right after the shots. I mean, dude, yeah, with a scope like that, bro, they're looking at his fucking moles under his mustache, okay? Like, I'm sure he saw the gun.
Saw he was Chinese.
Yeah, he was like, oh, he's not Chinese, don't shoot. Don't shoot, big mistake.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Look at halfway on visor video. He said they were looking at the roof. Yeah. Oh. Look at him at the counter sniper's nest was. They may have not had a great vantage point on the roof the guy was on. Okay, that is like legitimately crazy though. Do you understand? Like, this is where the stage is. That's where the counter sniper team is. That's where the shooter is. I mean, that's like a long distance, but how the fuck do they not have someone there?
Like the only other roof in
the area. Yeah. Like, there's not that many buildings, man. How do these guys do like Secret Service security detail in cities? Like,
what?
Like, this is a barnyard. There should be people there. There should be people there. There should be people here.
So you're saying we need more guns, Hasan? Is that what you're saying?
Like, what the fuck were they doing? I don't understand it. Small detail for ex-presidents? Eh. That's what people were saying earlier, that the service failed and at least the boss should be fired. You say people were dumb for wanting her fired. Now they're saying they messed up. No, I've been saying they fucking messed up from the start. But the reason why Elon Musk is talking about how that person is in charge of the Secret Service is because he's like saying that's a woman. I don't think she has a say in what happened here, you know, but that's besides the point. There were 2 Secret Service agents on the roof together. Yes, that's a sniper and a scout. Like, that's normal. They have two people. Like, they have a person on the binoculars and a person on the rifle. That's a spotter. Yeah, not a scout, sorry. But again, how the fuck did they just not, like, there's not that many fucking roofs.
Nothing around.
How do they? I actually don't understand how they, like, how do they clear, like, cities and shit? Oh, Biden did speak.
Oh.
Damn. President Biden spoke with former President Trump. He was like, God damn it.
They got the shirts. They got even better shirts now.
Yeah. They're like, God damn it. Listen, I wasn't responsible for this. Next time I won't miss. Click. Dave Smith brings up a very good point. How the fuck can you say he's literally Hitler and democracy's on the line, but we wish him a speedy recovery and political violence is never acceptable? If you have been saying any of that insane shit, then at least have the integrity to admit that this is the logical conclusion of your lies. You know, hate to give it to Mr. Libertarian, but he ain't exactly wrong about this. Like, leaked audio says, Joe, I got shooters in the streets, never step in O Block again. That's what he said. It's time to spin the block on my ops. All right? Get the chopper out. And I don't mean Air Force One. It's even worse. You can see the counter snipers are on the white roof, so I think that diagram is wrong.
Yeah, they're on the they're on the left of him.
They're on the closer one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marine One. Sorry, not Air Force One.
Yeah, they're on the white roof.
No, but roofs can look different in sunlight.
I wonder what they're talking. I wonder what they're talking about on the phone with one another.
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
There's a whole
after
bunch
this
of
and
questions.
that. Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
A rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So, how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. I'll tell you is, you know, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
Are you outside the security perimeter?
Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
This is the first British man this man has ever encountered. He's gonna think British people all look like that.
They do.
This is right.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. He seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance?
What? One of the cops was running around with a flag? What?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing.
Yo, Trump, it's not even a joke, man. Trump literally has, dude, he is Teflon. He has plot armor. I'm sorry.
With his
it's
own
fucking
eyes,
ridiculous.
as if to confirm, and then
All right, I gotta
again,
pee.
then quickly shoots. Andrew, I don't know if you can see this video from your location, but
yeah,
what do you make of it?
Silly girl.
You know, it's a remarkable capture. Well, the first thing that jumps out to me, Anderson, is they, at least that sniper and possibly his, I don't know if that's his spotter that's lying on the roof next to him. You typically deploy as a pair. One person on the gun, the other person on just optics and directing the person on the gun. They're all.
You just let it get up on
the video begins with them looking essentially in the right direction. It's almost as if you get the sense that maybe something on that rooftop had already caught their attention. And then when he raises his head off the gun, it almost seems to be in response to the first shot, like almost looking to confirm, like, did I just see what I think I saw, sort of thing. This is all.
Yeah. He's not on the way. And he's trained in the correct direction.
Well, it's interesting because
when the shots go off.
There is, and again, this is just,
Trump was wearing 120 shirts.
Maybe completely random.
One of the commenters was like, Trump is wearing 120 shirts.
Hit his ear, but
pieces of information, but there, there was the eyewitness who we played the sound from.
That sometimes just happens to ears. Like blood. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, we don't know. We don't know all the facts.
Sorry, I'll get on the mic.
We don't know, but if that is the case, then that might be why the counter sniper is already pointing in that location. John, or go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, you would hope and expect that if they had received a witness report like that, it would have at least gone out over the radio channel. And it's
well, I think that's why they were pointing in that direction.
Yeah, they saw probably someone on a roof.
Well, they got the witness report, and then were like, "We'll face that way," and they just couldn't see him.
Don't pause it. Mute it.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's live.
I don't know how these things work.
I'm just saying it would have gone different if we were there. Wouldn't have gone down like that.
I just stepped on her fucking. I just stepped on her completely,
and she still hasn't moved.
Yeah, if the Aussies were there, they would have sucked him. They would have sucked the shooter to death. They would have
counter sniper video.
They would have done what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? They would have fucking sucked him raw.
I would have kissed that man so hard.
Yeah, they would have stopped it.
Or you've got his spotter. They are getting information in their earpieces. It is possible about. We're getting reports of an individual on a roof that's way on the other side. He may be looking for that in his scope when he looks up. When you hear those shots, it's entirely likely that is the shooter's.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Every time shit like this happens, I'm like, damn, maybe I am cooked by like my brain is broken by television a little bit, because I do think that like they should be competent enough to like handle this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not even in the moment, because they were pretty quick to react.
Oh yeah.
But like my expectation is that there is no one ever anywhere near a former president or current president or someone who's like actively a presidential candidate. Like it's genuinely shocking to me. I think that is something that people are going to probably start asking about as well.
I think they got to deregulate and privatize Secret Service. I think it's the only way to keep them accountable.
That's right. Yeah, why won't they do that?
I think your assessment that he heard the shots, looked up, went back to his scope, and opened fire is highly likely.
I want to play the video, which we've been playing pretty much once an hour or so, just for those who are just joining. It starts. This is around 6:15 p.m. in Butler, Pennsylvania. This is a short minutes into former President Trump speaking at this rally when the shots began.
No, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
He's like, "Aye."
Yeah, this guy running up with a camera, just like.
Oh no, that's the guy who caught the crazy photo.
It's probably worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I could die or I could make my career. I will not be rushing the stage like this.
On you ready, on you. Ready, move, up, move, go. Up. Guys here.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's
like
just fucking
they have,
everyone
they're gonna get clapped by the Secret Service.
And he's dressed like the guy who killed Shinzo Abe. He's got the gray shirt and a little like bum bag.
Are we good to move? We're clear. We're clear. We're clear. Come on. Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I did say that. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that was
was referring to. Wait, is he doing the speech barefoot? And he's like, whoa.
Maybe he jumped down so hard his shoes flew.
Like Looney Tunes style.
I still don't know why they let him do this. That makes zero sense.
I think there's a safe word
They
for
go
president.
crazy.
Yeah.
They go crazy. By the way, that guy's an RFK impersonator.
Who?
The guy with the fedora behind him.
He did not move at all. The fedora guy.
USA.
But also, this just happened. You have no idea if he's about to die. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, JFK Jr. impersonator. Sorry, not RFK.
Wolf, let's go back to you.
You know,
Bro, it's just like this is lightning never strikes twice. That's number one. And number two, he's gonna have so much more security now. So like, I don't think this shit is ever likely to happen again. You know what I mean? On the other hand, Biden might get spooked and fall.
For us. What are you seeing over there? What are you hearing?
Wolf, we've been out here now for a couple of hours. We came here because we were told that they had increased police presence here just out of an abundance of caution, and they sure have. There's about a steady stream of about 8 or 9 officers here behind me. They've been making the rounds around the building. We are right out front of Trump Tower on 5th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. And of course, Trump comes here here and there.
Oh my God.
He's had to be on trial here in New York.
İndi said kötülere bir şey olmazmış abi. That's what my mom said verbatim. Nothing ever happens to bad people in Turkish. My mom texted me that. That literally is verbatim what my mom texted me, and Turkish moms are on top.
We
They're
understand
right.
from the spokesperson for New York City Mayor Eric Adams that he has been briefed on this situation. He has said that his prayers go out to the former president. And this is not the only area in New York City, Wolf, that they are concerned about just in case. They are also beefing up the police presence in other areas of the city. Those would include City Hall, also 40 Wall Street, and Foley Square. Foley Square has a little bit of history. It's known as Federal Plaza, and that is a major site for protesters. Often that is where they gather, certainly during Occupy Wall Street. That's where they gathered years ago. So that is one area that they want to keep an eye on. But as I said, they've had a steady stream here of people coming through. They've been chatting with the police officers a little bit. It's a very calm crowd here this evening. But of course, they just want to be sure that everything here is that they are taking all the precautions that they can. There's been a permanent blockade, Wolf, out front of Trump Tower here since 2016. But this is different when you have actually police officers standing at the front door of Trump Tower, making sure nobody gets inside. Wolf?
And as you know, Randy, and I know the Secret Service, the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, local law enforcement, the U.S. military, every time something like this happens, out of an abundance of caution, they intensify security all over the place. They don't want to take any more chances, so we're going to see that whether in the coming days in Milwaukee at the Republican convention, and then next month in Chicago at the Democratic convention, and all sorts of political rallies and political events all across the country. Randy, thanks very much. Anderson, back to you.
On the phone now is syndicated political columnist Selena Zito, who was at the rally. Selena, thanks for talking with us. Can you just talk a little bit about what you experienced when you realized what was going on?
Sure. Thanks so much for having me. So just before the president went on, I did talk to him backstage just for a few minutes. I was set to interview him after the rally. But I think it's just interesting to note that he was very excited, you know, and sort of very happy to be in Pennsylvania. I think he recognizes the importance.
One of the other people that was in critical condition is not made it, I think.
Going into Wisconsin. And so I was in the bumper. The bumper is that area where journalists go that is sort of surrounds the stage with the audience.
I feel like hogs are going to see this and try to do it to Biden, though,
so
like for sure.
From him,
and they're so, and it's going to be like, it's going to be ridiculous.
Myself
I feel
and
like
two photographers from the
I
Washington
think
Examiner.
hogs are going to try to do a repeat on this against Biden, but it's going to be like the Cincinnati FBI office. Like it's going to be kind of funny.
You don't need a gun to kill Biden.
That's true. But like, if you remember, the Cincinnati FBI office was like raided by a hog, and he like tried to use like a nail gun to break through, and just got domed. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I. So you agree with Alex Jones? No, I don't agree with Alex Jones. Alex Jones thinks like someone's gonna do it to Biden and then blame a Trump supporter. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like some dumbass is gonna be like, that's right, they tried to kill our president. He's saying it's a psyop. I'm saying he's saying it's a secret government psyop. I'm saying some fucking dumbass is going to get up in his feelings and try to do some shit. Okay. But it'll probably be funnier. But Biden still might die, really, because he's out of shock. Yeah. Out of pure fear, he might just like perish.
Do you think it's possible, though, that the reason this guy picked Trump was maybe because he's not president, so his security was like, would his security be slightly lower than Biden's, and that's why he picked him
I don't
as
think
a
the
target?
average person makes that calculation, because most people wouldn't think that the president does not have adequate security, a former president, or even like, you know, someone running for office.
Was the person doing this suicidal? Like they're not like thinking, like planning out like a rational kind of.
I mean, it's usually like, if it's not like an actual fucking op, it's usually just like a random weirdo who like. A random person that wants to impress like fucking Jodie Foster. You know what I mean? It's shit like that. It's not like a person with like a real ideological commitment. No. But I don't know. I mean, this seems more, this isn't just like walking up with a 22 and just like trying to fucking pop them. This seems more like, you know, this seems more planned, more committed. But who knows?
He was trying to impress Demo Ranch.
Yeah, he calculated
stories ahead of the convention. So I had, you know, a photographer with me, and so yeah, and it's really interesting, and I suspect there's a lot of journalists feel this way.
To be fair, actually, I think he just got lucky. So it is kind of like walking up to Ronald Reagan in the car park or something. Or on a sidewalk and just trying to hit him. Because how the fuck did he have a clear line of sight?
So it's like, well, I better stay safe.
Yeah. I mean, it's now been a little bit more than 4 and it's been about 4.5 hours since then. How, you know, when you're in a situation like this, there's a lot of adrenaline that kind of carries you through for a while. I don't know if that's worn off for you yet, but how do you reflect on this?
So you're right. There is this adrenaline that flows through you. And I think it's this sort of self-protection thing.
Now they're both on 1HP. No, the fuck they're not, bro. I'm telling you.
Trump is so much stronger.
Trump is not on 1 HP. I bet this somehow gave him more life, okay? I'm beginning to believe his battery idea, okay? Like that the human battery is finite. And that he shouldn't be wasting all of his energy exercising. Like, I don't know how. This motherfucker just keeps getting stronger. I don't know. To be fair, he did lose because of COVID, and that was like a, you know, biblical event. So maybe God was like, I got you. My bad last time around. I got you this time, King. Here's your second health bar.
And you know, obviously, and we were in such, so there was about 5, maybe 7 of us journalists that were in that bumper. And they immediately, as soon as they took the president out, they grabbed us and took us back into holding. And I think they were always, the advanced people were concerned that we were okay because we were right there.
Yeah.
We could not have been closer.
Yeah.
And there was also no cell service out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know any news that has happened. I just walked into my home. I live about an hour and a half from Butler. And so, you know, I haven't been able to process any of the particulars that, you know, that has come out since it's happened. We were just sequestered out. But what was fascinating to me is once they brought us out, what I saw, Anderson, was really sad. So you saw this, you know, when I went in, the last image I saw were you know, 20, 30, 40,000 people. I don't know. There were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
You know, all on a farm field. That was the last sort of images I had seen when I looked back.
Dude, I think I've seen this footage more than 1,000 times since it happened. Like, I watched it so much. Jesus Christ.
The phone.
Yeah.
You know, you know.
Yeah,
that
she said 40,000 people were there. Hey, man, that town, the total population of that town is 14,000. The entire town, okay? The entire town is 14,000. 1-4. You are so fucking stupid. She's a Washington Examiner columnist. So, of course, they're so insane.
Also, it's like a 200-meter squared space.
Yeah, it's like not that big of an area. There's not that many people there.
You know, the best in the days ahead as you begin to think about it and process all of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's called driving from out of town. Do you have eyes, bro? Can you see? Do you have eyes, dude? Like, are you that stupid? You think there's 40,000 people at that rally? Do you know what 40,000 people look like? That's a stadium, dumbass. A large one. The fuck?
Portrays some of the chaos as some people appear to be trying to warn that there was someone who's about to take shots or that someone with a firearm was visible there. So let's look at this video and we can talk a little bit about what we're hearing.
And you know, that's a little bit.
Oh. Oh, he's also doing his thing.
That was before the
That
shots.
was before he shot!
Stay under here.
It's all fake. I'm not crazy. Yes, you are crazy. You watched it happen in real time.
Go over there. He's on the roof, buddy.
If they were gonna fake it, they would fake it better than that.
Bro, dude, they're not even alarmed. What is going on right now, dude?
He's dead.
That man is just walking his dog.
On that roof.
Well, if they hit anybody over there.
Did he pull up a shot?
He number of shots.
I thought that was ours.
No, that was him. The first 2 shots were him.
That's America. That's America, dude. Yeah, look at that. That's America, motherfucker. Look at these fucking hogs, dude. He's like, yeah, it's a lot of shots were fired. I wonder if they killed anybody.
He's right there on the roof. Just on the other side of the
Oh, that's so small. Is that where he's going to climb up?
It's like, what is this, a school? School's out, buddy. What's going on right now?
Oh, that's when he starts pumping. Crowd going wild.
And Wolf, what this does is it sort of matches some of the earlier eyewitness. We saw an eyewitness who was interviewed by a BBC crew there on the scene, and that person described seeing this alleged shooter, the suspected shooter.
This is a funny take, but you're right. How did every single person see the shooter except for Secret Service? Like, it seems like he was like, I am going to do an assassination today. Hey, guys, like, he's like, here's my rifle. I'm wearing my favorite YouTuber's merch. like, that's crazy. They're just hanging out. What the fuck?
that they are the ones that fired the shots that killed the suspected gunman who fired the shots in the direction of the former president. So what you're hearing in that video, again, is a harrowing detail, the chaos, really, as people clearly saw even as this was about to happen, and were trying to figure out, like, trying to draw attention.
Don't tread on me, flag.
And obviously none of that could prevent those initial shots from coming from the suspected shooter. The Secret Service obviously took action very, very quickly and killed him before the former president could be injured. Unfortunately, it appears that there were other injuries. Another person died there.
That's another good thing.
At the scene. So
dude probably died thinking he killed the president. Damn. In his final moment, he was like, "Oh, bliss."
His final moments, he was like, "I'm Chinese."
About a football field and a half.
He's like, "Oh, thank God, I did this for Xi Jinping." That's how he died.
Evan Perez, thank you very much for sharing that video with our viewers. Appreciate it very much. Right now, I want to bring in the former U.S. Secret Service agent Jonathan Wackrow and former Deputy Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe. To both of you, thanks very much for joining us. So walk us through what to anticipate. Andrew, let me start with you right now. I take it the FBI will be in charge of this full-scale investigation?
Say a prayer for this woman tonight. She almost lost her husband.
Yeah, that's right, Wolf. And I think they've made a public announcement.
Yeah.
Doesn't care.
She would be so stoked. She's probably fucking so mad that he's alive. Are you kidding me?
Resources have already been deployed, that evidence response teams and personnel and counterterrorism investigators from all of the regional field offices and some from headquarters are heading towards Pittsburgh right now. There's a whole process in place to enable that deployment to take place instantly. They will be focusing obviously on identifying the shooter, and once he's identified, peeling back every aspect of his life.
Yeah, they were very mad about Harry Hasan, my goat. Critical support for Harry Hasan. He's right to have tweeted that, for the record. According to the Supreme Court, Biden could now send in SEAL Team 6 to take all of them out. He could send in the military to take out Trump. He has immunity for official acts now. He's right. I mean, he's just making a legal analysis. Like, that's so funny that they got mad at him for this, because like that was literally the dissenting opinion of one of the Supreme Court justices. So like, you know, so presidents talk to their VPs all the time. Okay, that meme is stale. Robert Evans talking to someone who worked in the building. What? Buildings do not have inside cameras. They think access likely gained via areas circled in the photo. They do not recall Secret Service or law enforcement sweeping the building prior to the event. AGR International Inc. is having a big day today. Big day today. Right-wing narrative is clear. Yeah, they're just gonna say like, yeah, they're saying that like the left is responsible and that we should do to the left what they tried to do to Donald Trump, because they incited violence against Donald Trump by saying he's bad and scary. That's the only thing more tragic than what just happened, is that if we're being honest, it wasn't totally a shock. Biden's inevitable ritual condemnation of political violence today, when it comes, will be insufficient and irrelevant. Dude, honestly, there is nothing funnier than people who are Trump supporters being like, Biden is so violent with his rhetoric.
And he's so incisive with what he's saying. You know,
no, he's not. You know why he's not violent with his rhetoric? Because he don't know what the fuck he's saying half the time. Okay? Like, what do you mean? Oh, it's so funny. Ay, ay, ay. Biden can barely stand up. These motherfuckers are like, he's so scary. He's so fucking scary. We know when he says Trump is Hitler, it's like that actually means like he wants to kill Donald Trump. What? There is no conspiracy theory off the table now. The most powerful force in the world would try to do anything to stop Trump from being president.
Then why would they get that kid? Like,
why
would they get that guy who
No, that's, you don't understand. Dude, that is such like a classic conspiracy theory take, by the way. Like the you know, the Secret Service is all powerful and was like interested in killing Donald Trump, but also they hired the guy who can't, you know, do a shot. Like,
also, like, if it's the Secret Service, they've got every other person who's so much closer to Trump.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't they just like dart him like a fucking, you know, like the KGB or some shit? It just doesn't make sense. Why are they tweeting this shit when it looks like he might be a right winger? I don't think it was a right. I mean, I don't know, but like, it don't matter. If that dude had a manifesto and was like, I'm killing Trump because I'm like further right than him, you know, it's still, they'd be like, oh, that's a Fed. They would be like, that's a Fed. That's federal government. It's a federal agent. He's on the payroll. He's trans. Like, they'd be like, nah, he's a Ukrainian trans Chinese Hamas guy who's Jewish. Joe Biden sent the orders. Democrats, dude, Marjorie Taylor Greene literally has a campaign ad where she shot a 50 cal at a fucking car. Okay. And I think the car literally had like the photos of Democrats on it. If I remember, I might be misremembering, or it might have just said like the Democrats or something. And now she's like, words are violence. You can't do that. You're Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, you're a rabid sociopath. It's like, I don't understand it. Oh, here. Yeah.
I think you showed it to us last year.
Yeah. This ad is way sicker than the top of the hour ad break, which many of you will not be able to see this ad if you don't subscribe for $6 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime is free. You know, the tweet is about action, not words. What? Dude, there is no salvaging this, okay? Like, Democrats wanted this to happen. They wanted Trump gone for years, and they prepared to do anything to make that happen. Just as Congress Representative Troy A. Carter, Barbara Lee, sponsored legislation to terminate Trump's Secret Service protection. Chatter, do you think, in all honesty, and I mean this with like so much sincerity, do you think Trump's Secret Service was terminated? Like, do you think Trump didn't have Secret Service? Do you think that Donald Trump has just been walking around without Secret Service?
He's been walking around with DEI Secret Service.
Yeah.
That's the real trap.
That's why they lost. Like, they're on the videos all over. Didn't say that. BoyBoy getting on that Indiana Jones. Dude, I love Republicans. I'm so glad that this brought back all the fucking Trump supporters, because they're always like trying to debate on the dumbest virtues, on the dumbest talking points of all time, where they're like, they didn't mean that. They're actually secretly plotting to assassinate Donald Trump. That's why the Congress actually did this. And they successfully. She was saying they tried to, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay? Because they failed. That's not why this happened. More pets. I know. It's exciting. Yo, Hasan, as an Australian with an outside perspective, American conspiracy is goofy as fuck. Yeah.
I love American conspiracies.
Best headline ever. Biden makes statement after Trump rally shooting. It's sick.
That's what I said.
Yeah. It's fucking sick, dude. Yo, that shit was dope. That's what he said. Oh, so here's the 3-minute ad break now. Anyway.
Why? Why would they write it like that?
It's fucking sick.
It's sick.
Twitter AI is getting all the headlines wrong. Oh, dude, this is always funny. Vice President Harris shot, nation reacts. Actor Home Alone 2 shot at Trump rally.
That's good.
Trump rally incident. An ode to Jodie Foster.
Wait, why is Jodie Foster a thing? Is this a meme?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because Jodie Foster, so the guy who shot Ronald Reagan and failed to kill him, it wanted to impress Jodie Foster. Hinckley. Yeah. He was Jodie Foster's stalker.
Alone 2 shot at Trump rally.
I mean, they're not wrong.
True, yeah.
Pretty sure I found another photo of the guy, x.com/stillgray. Yeah. Ninja's comments on the attempt. How do kickers simply just miss kicks? That was on 9/11. That makes it crazier. Wait, that makes it. What was he talking about there? What was he cooking, dude?
You talking about the plane that missed?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pentagon.
He's talking about the Pentagon plane. Yo. Oh man. What? It's happening already?
No.
President Trump, I await command. Small, weak, gay, liberal man destroy country. Try to attempt assassinate. Not allow. All small, weak, liberal, gay men will perish at the hand of Manchu. Civil war immediate.
This is the Chinese guy the media was referring to.
That's funny. All three of you, Zin on upper or lower? Upper deck.
I didn't do Zin.
I just put it in my mouth and swallowed it.
I thought it was gum. I just broke a part of my mouth.
Anyway, baby Elon Musk. All right, is there anything new happening, or are we?
Anyone else got shot? Or
here.
Joe Biden abandoned Americans in Afghanistan, got 13 of our best soldiers killed,
I can't get over that. It's like, those were our best soldiers. Like, if they were the shittiest soldiers, I wouldn't care, but those are our best soldiers, okay?
kill list of Americans to the Taliban, an armed and Islamic terrorist nation with $83 billion in weapons like this one. Biden should be impeached. Now I'm doing a gun giveaway of my own, but for Americans only. I want you to win this.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
God damn it, dude. I'm a part of the Taliban, and I was really excited. I'm a big Marjorie Taylor Greene fan.
.50 caliber rifle that Democrats will ban if they keep the House next year. While Joe Biden broke America's pledge to never leave a man behind, Nancy Pelosi is sneaking the Green New Deal into the $3.5 trillion budget. And in 2022, I'm going to blow away the Democrats' socialist agenda.
Dude, someone needs to fucking make this into the Trump shot. Someone needs to cut Trump on the other side going, ah! You have to do this. Oh, she's shooting
That's
at-
all right.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
That's a good.
Go to the website below and sign up.
Greengun.com.
I wonder who won.
The guy,
The
the
guy,
shooter,
yeah.
the shooter. Nah, dude, if it was shooting
50
Trump with a
cal.
50 cal, the entire podium behind him would have been fucking pink and purple, sprayed. Marjorie Taylor Greene could be disarmed by a Kong full of peanut butter thrown down a hallway. Yes.
What is that?
Chew toy that you can put peanut butter in that dogs like. That's a great take, M. Hood. Oh, that guy won the gun?
Wait, you know him?
Damn.
You know that guy?
No, but they don't even give him the fucking scope. Like, what the hell? That's kind of ass.
Yeah, it's pretty mean.
Anyway. How have they not identified the shooter? No, they have already apprehended him. They just haven't released his identity to the public. They're probably fucking searching his background and shit. Trump Vats?
No.
I can't. She said Paul Revere signed the Declaration of Independence. Whatever, bro. You weren't there. I'm gonna go with her on this one. Prediction: Marjorie Taylor Greene for VP. Fuck no. If the shooter is not a white, straight, cis male, it's over for the minorities. I mean,
it's already kind of over.
I think it's done because Trump is going to be the president.
Yeah.
We'll see. Actually, I mean, immediately after this, I was like, man, he's gonna fucking wipe the floor. But now I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about it more.
He looks amazing.
Your takes are shit. I think he secured it for sure, but this guy following since October 10th, 2022, first time he chats in here just to say your takes are shit.
He's been waiting a long time.
Yeah. That's cool.
Thing is not being reevaluated about the scope and the scale of the security
How are you
around
running in with a camera
that
to get
event,
that
and
shot?
not
Look
to
at this guy down here.
mention.
I do
President
think,
Trump
I will say this much, like outside of CNN being like, oh, this is a solemn moment or whatever, like I don't think a single like legitimate Trump hater is like, oh man, this is such a devastating day.
No,
like,
I think they are. It's devastating because he's
yeah, I mean,
gonna
yeah,
win.
they're
He's gonna
they're-
win now.
If
yeah.
anything, they're saying he's going to win, or they're saying it's devastating because they missed. Like that's probably like the most. Like I don't think this. What I'm trying to say is I don't think that like people who hate Trump are now going to see him in a different light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think if this happened to Biden, he wouldn't even notice his ear was missing.
Yeah.
He would just continue
What did you
speaking.
say?
No,
What was that? What'd you say? Who was that? Who was that?
Yeah, I think Trump haters are worried. Yeah, well, I'm not worried because I'm a Trump lover.
I'll always remember where I was on this day.
Yeah, Red Wave.
SneakerCon 2024.
Red wave, baby. Red wave, baby. You know?
Is on the line, and Republicans are now saying that that is the rhetoric that that incited this. We have no idea. We don't know who this person is, what their motives are, but on all sides, I mean, I think there should be probably a reevaluation of all the rhetoric, of the tone of this campaign going forward. Will there be? I'm not so sure, because I think both sides are going to try to find, they're going to find ways to use this to their political advantage, and the stakes really gotten even higher tonight.
But I will say, we've talked so much about the top of the ticket and what that looks like and who's the nominee and what that looks like. President Biden and President Trump had a phone call
there's the
tonight,
fucking
and
MAGA wall
that has
guy.
never happened between the two of them. And so obviously they've been on debate stages. We've all seen
Can we
the
finish the
political
Elon
moments,
Musk
but
Johnny
the fact
Harris
that
video?
they did have
Fuck
that
no.
phone call tonight, and in Donald Trump's statement tonight,
you in the middle of
he
that?
offered his
Yeah.
condolences to the rally goer who was
Are we
killed
gaming tonight?
tonight, and to the other person who was
Yeah,
critically
that's what
injured.
the
We've now learned the
shadows
second
were saying
person
that too. They were
was
like, "Are
also
we gaming?"
critically injured. And obviously you saw President Biden come out pretty quickly early on before he had left Rehoboth to come out and say that he had tried to get in touch with Trump. Those are moments that are also, I think, important for as we look at what this political context is, regardless of what others are saying on Twitter and online and in the coming days. It is a moment to see them at least having that phone
I just
call.
don't. I legitimately don't think that the Republican strategy of being like, this was Biden's rhetoric that caused this death caused this assassination attempt to happen is going to stick, because like the significantly like more powerful narrative that everyone kind of recognizes and has been talking about for the past week is that Biden is a doddering old buffoon. Like he's demented. Like he does not exactly come across as like a threatening presence, no matter how hard you try to do that. And also Democrats are like major pussies regardless. Like even Democrats who are super coherent are always so careful in the way that they talk, in the way that they're like, oh my God, please, like, this is about the ballot. This is, democracy's on the ballot. You have to vote. You have to vote till the cows come home type shit. They never get anywhere near the violent rhetoric. They never get anywhere near the violent rhetoric that you hear on a daily fucking basis from like the average Republican. You can have like a Republican comptroller being like, yeah, I'm gonna annihilate the fucking accounting in this in the state government, like we need to annihilate Mexicans. You know what I mean? So it's like they never actually say anything even remotely violent, no matter how hard these guys try to fucking make it seem like that. So I don't know. What brand is your jacket again? Acme Studios. Acme Studios. Clueless you are? Shut the fuck up, Lives. It's over for the Dems. Sorry, buddy.
Oh,
First of all,
Hasan, it's so sad. Your Dems are losing.
I know. I love the Democratic Party. I love Joe Biden. I'm so sad for him. I'm so sad all the time about Joe Biden. If America made it past huge popularity for Bush and literal obliteration of the Middle East, why not make it past this? What do you mean? Oh, this was the biggest L, by the way. I was hoping to catch him at the Trump rally, but he's half an hour late and counting, and I'm going to Earth, Wind, and Fire Chicago with my mom. So I think I'm going to have to punt on live coverage. Have a lovely Saturday. Dude, that's the funny. He missed it.
I mean, we missed it as well.
Yeah, you guys missed it too. I was there. Things. I was literally fucking locked in. What if his ear just did that? True. For people blaming the current director of the Secret Service, they forget shit like Secret Service taking days to figure out the White House got shot 13 years ago. Damn, they've been sucking. Was it a woman back then? Or what kind of DEI was it back then? Yeah, this reads like an alibi.
Yes.
Quite suspicious.
What, let me check if Earth, Wind, and Fire was actually playing.
Yeah, has he actually tweeted since then? Okay, he has tweeted. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. So I'm guessing tomorrow's going to be the 8 hours of the most unhinged hogwash we've ever seen in years. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. You guys know I love Republicans, okay? You know this. And I'm not just saying that because they're going to come and try to assassinate me now because they're angry and they're looking for someone to kill, anything really. I mean it in all sincerity, okay?
Do you know who I feel kind of bad for? Is Mr. Beast, because he just released his biggest video ever.
Dude, I don't think.
And then this happened. The guy with the demolition ranch came in.
I don't think
T-Series did this.
Come on,
dog. I don't think 12-year-old kids in India are like, oh man, I'm going to be watching the demolition ranch or any other political coverage over the Mr. Beast video. You know what I mean?
They're trying to steal his thunder.
Identity, what they believe to be the identity of the suspected shooter. He's a young man, approximately 20 years old, who apparently grew up and lives in a Pennsylvania town, not terribly far away, and they are in the process of going through that. We are not going to be going with any further information about him until they are finished confirming that they have the right suspect or put that name out. But they're very confident
press conference.
that they have identified
Press conference
who
incoming.
he is as a 20-year-old Pennsylvania man.
Are you going to salute?
Let's we'll wait and see. Presumably, it won't take very long for them to make public the name of this individual and some more information about this individual. I thought it was interesting, John, and I want to get your reaction. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, just issued a statement vowing there will be what he calls a full investigation. A full investigation of
Dude,
this,
I'm so serious. After seeing the kid, the pic of the kid, I think he went to my middle school. Wait, what the fuck? I mean, he just looks like a very generic white dude. I mean, he looks like nothing now, but you know,
where did you go to school?
From what you could make out, he just looks kind of like a generic white guy. The photo I saw didn't. There's not really a lot that you can make out. What is this?
Protesters.
You think this is the guy?
Surely if you were planning to kill someone, you wouldn't be like in a scuffle with police just before that. 2017.
No, that's from 2017. Press conference is in 25 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, a press conference has been scheduled for 11:45 p.m. at the Butler Township Police Department. Conference will include State Police Lieutenant Colonel Bivens, Tyler Bivens, Ninja, members of the FBI and Secret Services.
And collected the right way without the color of politics affecting it.
Yeah, they need a full-scale investigation, but they clearly don't need it to be political. Good point indeed, John. Thank you very, very much. Anderson, back to you.
Wolf, as you know, 3 former presidents have weighed in tonight. This from former President Clinton. I'm quoting, "Violence has no place in America, especially in our political process. Hillary and I are thankful that President Trump is safe, heartbroken for all those affected by the attack at today's rally in Pennsylvania, and grateful
That's
for
how
the
you know
swift
these
action."
motherfuckers are fake, bro.
Hillary's the last person.
Yeah, like, you know, Hillary's like, I'm pissed because he missed, okay? Like, there's just no way. There's just no way these people are like, oh, I'm so sad.
In response.
I'm so sad
And
about
this
Trump.
from former President Obama. "There is absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy."
Yeah, that belongs in Gaza, okay? There's no violence there's no violence in fucking in a suburb near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, okay? Only violence in Gaza Strip. Nowhere else.
Van, we haven't heard from you this evening. What are your thoughts?
I am hungry, but I don't know what to get.
I'm so glad that Donald Trump is alive. I'm so glad. I'm so glad he's alive.
What?
I'm so glad his family is not having to bury a father and a grandfather. And this is a moment that I think people who want to defeat him remind ourselves, you can defeat him with ballots. You don't need bullets. You don't need vitriol.
Yeah, Democrats do legitimately
Any
say
of this
this all the
stuff.
time.
This is a time where we can get off of this train. I've been hearing from people who are scared tonight. They're scared that this is the beginning of some new tit-for-tat violence, that we're spiraling away from each other.
That is going to happen probably, though. That is kind of scary. I hope they don't kill me. That would be really sad.
You know, Gabby Giffords was shot in 2011. Democratic Congress.
If they do attempt to kill me, do it while they're here. Okay,
No.
Fucking asshole.
Gretchen Whitmer
I'm just kidding.
was almost kidnapped 2020, kept rationing it up. She's a Democrat. Paul Pelosi attacked with a hammer 2022. More violence, and we keep rationing it up. And now Donald Trump, almost assassinated, comes within a quarter of an inch of being assassinated in 2024. This is not the way. This is not the way. If you have somebody in your life who you've been mad at, who votes different from you, or prays different, or loves different, or looks different, text them tonight. Text them tonight. Call them. This should be a wake-up call for everybody. We got to put our arms around each other. We can vote against each other. We don't have to hate each other. And if you don't understand tonight that we could have lost a leader who's important to half the country, who's beloved by half this country,
bro, just
and you would have
open
had
the
half this
door.
country
You want to order
maybe
food?
feeling the need to shoot back. And where would we be? Where would we be?
You want Dave's hot
So
chicken?
this is the moment for everybody to
What's
look
like
in
the
the mirror. I
tiniest
am
thing they
so
have?
glad
Like a little,
that Donald Trump is alive tonight.
Such a baby.
Just to try it.
Scott
You're a
Jennings?
baby.
Yeah, I just want to echo much of what Van just said.
It's like a nugget.
Because, you know, I was very angry when I saw this news earlier. I wasn't really angry as a Republican, though. I was angry as an American because I view this as a direct attack on our democracy. And regardless of who you support or who you don't like or who you like, we're all in the democracy together. And whether you like it or not, Donald Trump is the most likely next president of the United States, according to the polls right now. He is an important person in our civic life and in our political affairs. So I view this as a direct attack on our democracy. It makes me angry for him, for his family, for everyone that was at that rally. It makes me angry for everyone who is an active participant in our politics. And I think, to echo what Van said, the way you overcome extremism and the way you overcome people who would commit violent acts is by participating more in our democracy, by using speech appropriately, by voting, by doing the things that make our democracy healthy and vibrant, and stop doing the things that make it the opposite, because that's where we are right now. we're in the opposite place. But we are at a moment where we can get off the train, as Van said.
Why are you trying to eat his food? You want one tendy? I can get you a tendy.
That would make this democracy far healthier than it is right now. Whoever wins this election, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, our country is not going to come to an end. Our Constitution is not going to be destroyed.
You want medium or hot or extra
We are not
hot?
going to see things dissolve in this country. We have elections every 2 and 4 years. The country will not end.
Everyone's saying one.
Get out and participate. Do what you do.
Motherfucker was gonna have
Support your
one
candidate.
nugget.
I mean, that's dinner. They all
But
saw me.
ballots and speech
I've got proof.
are the
Come
way
on, guys, back
forward.
me up. I've
Not
eaten.
violence, not bullets, and not telling your friends and neighbors that our country is going to come to an end. That has to stop.
You know that the left are going to look even worse now because of this? The left always get a bad rep from stuff that isn't even their fault. Whatever.
Disputes. Cowards, however,
Oh my God.
can undermine.
If that guy got shot in the ear, the entire everything would be covered in blood.
Tonight, as both Dan
5
and
stairs,
Scott
just like
mentioned,
holy shit.
something that
He drained.
He would not miss that guy.
He drained.
His ear would protect the rest of his head, though. If you came at his head, his ear would just deflect the bullet away.
I think he would hear it coming, though, that guy.
Someone's on the roof.
and opinion makers. I've already seen on social media lurid conspiracy theories about what happened and what might have happened today. We do need to learn
It's a
more
serious
about
occasion.
what
Sorry,
went wrong.
sorry.
But we should
Democracy
remember
almost died.
that the former president himself thanked the Secret Service for doing
Maybe
what it
it's
could
like
to save
hard
his
for
life,
me.
to
I don't
protect
know.
him.
I just maybe my
This
brain
is a
is so
time
broken
to be very careful
from covering
about
like
what we say
atrocities,
about our institutions.
and I've like
This
irreparably
is
destroyed my my what is it, prefrontal cortex? Is that what it is, like
Probably.
where you get your emotions from? But like, I can't. I can't be serious. Like, I don't know.
Also,
This
there's
is
something to be
just-
said for like watching that clip probably 1,000 times in the
Yeah.
past 7 hours. Like,
no, but like even from the jump, I was like, this is pretty wild.
when
stuff,
when
but
you
it wasn't-
texted us, I terrified. I just stopped. I immediately thought we got to buy the Trump sneakers.
I literally asked the guy, I was like, where do I buy them? Where are the Trump
Because they
sneakers?
didn't know yet. They didn't
And
know.
it wasn't on
yet.
the news.
I thought he was dead, so I was like, I've got insider information.
Yeah.
Buy low, sell high.
Oh Jesus. Marjorie, edit you asked for, King.
And in 2022, I'm going to blow away the Democrat socialist agenda.
You want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, stupid. Oh.
Well, that was a good edit and very quick. Well done.
This has been a bad 10 minutes. We gotta get back. We gotta get back to the real.
Please be serious, everybody. That's crazy. I'm not laughing. It's messed up.
From certainly people on our air from both sides of the political spectrum, that's what everybody wants. And certainly, you know, we heard from former presidents, Democrats, Republicans asking for that. I was just reading former Speaker Nancy Pelosi said, as one whose family has been the victim
It's
of
just like-
political violence, I know firsthand that political
Like I can't take this seriously. I mean, I laugh when the David DePipe stuff happened too. And Republicans in unison were like, that's a gay lover of Nancy Pelosi's husband. And like I can't believe, dude, it's so funny that like why are they trying to act like they're not the people that we know they are? You know what I mean? Like when David DePipe broke into Nancy Pelosi's house to kill Nancy Pelosi and then found Paul Pelosi and tried to kill him with hammers, everyone was like, oh, they're gay as hell together. And also, this shit's objectively hilarious. And it's like, people would yell at me because I was making light of that of that somewhat humorous situation as well. And it's like, and it's just like kind of weird that have we all collectively forgotten about like how Republicans usually operate? Like, I just don't understand how, like, why Republicans are now switching up and being like, this is the most unacceptable thing. You have to look at this and go like this the entire time when you're covering it. Like,
when they were getting him up, first of all, he was looking for his shoe. And then we heard him say, wait. He is such a, he's been in television and in the public eye for so long.
I keep getting tricked seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene and thinking he's Magic the Gathering. I got so excited.
Not to have the imagery of him on the ground and then being whisked off. I know that, Jamie, there are a lot of, there's some questions about whether just from a security standpoint that was protocol, but from the political imagery of it all. The fact that he had the presence of mind to want to say fight, to put up his fists, and to have those images be the ones that are there, not just for today, not just for the rest of this campaign, but for history, is really striking.
Striking indeed. We're
yeah, this is how Donald Trump Jr. reacted to the Paul Pelosi situation. Like,
about
come
a press
on, dude.
briefing to occur in about
Like, that's
15 minutes
crazy.
or so from
Like,
now,
listen,
maybe even sooner with the.
Like, you know, making light of that situation is one thing, but like expecting people to be like super serious here, like when Donald Trump got fucking grazed in the ear, is just like, I mean, and liberals are still serious too, by the way. Like, they are already like, well, Trump is an elder statesman who deserves much respect. You know what I mean? Like, they're already doing that. Like, the entire CNN coverage is basically talking like he got shot and killed. Which is wild because it's like
23rd. It was December.
Dude, 2 people died. Dude, there is no mention of the people that died. Okay, shut the fuck up. These guys are talking about Trump. Okay, not a single person is like, oh, I'm so sad that like random Trump supporters died in place of Donald Trump. Not a single person is saying this. So shut the fuck up. You don't give a shit about that either. Okay, what is this nonsense? Like, oh, dude, 2 people died. Like, yeah, dude, I know. Okay. I know, I'm aware, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. Republicans are talking about this not because Trump supporters died at the rally. They're talking about this because Trump had an attempted assassination, okay? And they're like, how dare people do this? How dare this happen? This is the scariest moment in American democracy now, okay? That's what liberals are saying. That's what Republicans are saying. Like, it's absolutely... Jamel Bowie said that the whole political media establishment's response cuts against their image of him as an exceptional threat that normalizes him a bit. Yeah, 100%. And it's correct. You can't on the one fucking hand be like, Trump is literally a genuine constitutional threat to democracy, which I think he does, by the way. I do think he does. American democracy is theoretical regardless. Like, it's a laughable notion historically speaking when we're like, oh yeah, we have a nation where every man is equal. When like the OG guys were just like, yeah, only white landowners can vote. Please, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, black people weren't even seen as humans. Women weren't seen as humans, fully humans either. Like, and we're talking about this like fucking democratic process. But ultimately, I think that like I'm not gonna respond to the Republican calls for like you know, the seriousness in which this deserves coverage when I know how they fucking operate. Like, I think it's so cynical. It's so cynical. It's so silly that that people would ever turn around. To be honest, you guys shoot at your presidents all the time. Not really. It's happened like 4 to 5 times, which is, you know,
it's still a lot.
That's still a lot. You're right. Yeah.
Alan's die from swimming.
Yeah. Be careful, people love this man. No, I know.
So do I.
I know. Yeah, me too. Dude, me too. Oh, ew, you were just playing with your nasty ass feet, and your hands were like
wet.
Your hands were like clammy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, from your foot clam.
It's
Oh my God.
I was at Sneaker Fest. Okay,
It's people like you is what's wrong with America. if you think people like me is what's wrong with America, then you're probably not understanding why putting immigration statistics on here and direct calls for violence to by the state, mind you, if elected, towards tens of millions of people, and that's not what's wrong with America, then yeah, you're right. Okay, we are at odds here. You know what I mean? It's crazy. He means Turkish people. Yeah, he's right about that. He is right about that. I don't know. It's just righty's going to be insufferable now, are they? I mean, they're always insufferable, but now at least they have an opportunity to fully present Donald Trump as a victim. You know what I mean? It's bro, I want to make sure that this shit is not as easy to happen. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of gun control. You feel me? You're not. So the fuck are we talking about? What's up, you fucking inherited terrorists? How does it feel that your party is the radical one, you fucking transgender lovers? You even losing subs and views? Dude, I literally have 60,000 subscribers and 72,000 viewers right now. This is probably one of the worst moments where you could have come in here and said that. Objectively delusional. Okay? The Democrats lied to you, bro, and your uncle just gave you money so you be their bitch, spewing shit that you big dumb fuck don't even understand. You, American, is laughable. You know you don't even make sense. Let immigrants into your $1 million home, you terrorist motherfucker.
We're literally immigrants.
Come on, man.
I have. Yeah,
got two immigrants back here.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, how about you put those immigrants on screen for me to see, okay? Yeah. That guy was so mad. You should not have banned him so quickly because that was pretty funny.
You American is laughable. He's right there.
Excuse me.
You American is laughable.
I am American. Yeah. They're even doing foot stuff for you, chatter. True. True. They don't know he's Serb. That's why.
Who doesn't know?
The chatters, if they did, they'd be so mad. Damn, where the fuck is this food, bro? Maybe light up. Yeah, I am an American in the United States of America. How many right-wing terrorist attacks take place anytime a protest sparks up past gun control prevent this, and many acts of terror like this going forward? I agree. We're waiting for the press conference right now. Anyway, you literally have an Asian daughter? True. She's sleeping. Just gave out a big sigh.
Oh, fuck, it hurts to cough. Fucking abs.
The threat level.
You terrorize them.
In large part. And Trump is always someone who's had a high level of threats around him. So it should not be surprising to people that the protection of Secret Service, especially as he's about to be officially the nominee, is going to increase. And this idea that suddenly it would be peeled back arbitrarily is just not how any of this works. The Secret Service, they take their job seriously. Trump is both a candidate and a former president, which affords him Secret Service protection in both cases. And as Caitlin was saying, I mean, these are people that he knows.
I'm not gonna lie.
They are people who have been with him for a long time.
This is like extra reason for Biden to drop out, to change the narrative. You know what I mean? Because if this is just like weeks and weeks of humanizing Donald Trump and like presenting him as like a brilliant statesman who did not deserve the tragedies that unfolded, like, holy shit, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ. There's going to be like New York Times op-ed pieces like talking about how like Trump is no longer a threat to democracy. Actually, Joe Biden is because he's emboldening these people, these radical terrorists that want to kill right-wingers, which happens all the time, by the way. Ay, ay, ay. We're having the reverse Shinzo Abe effect
when we look back
that Japan
on this.
had.
I don't think we've really seen anything quite like that.
I mean, it shows you his skill and his knowledge of and his almost instinct. I mean, it is instinctive understanding of the importance of images and moments.
Content,
And he did not want that image of him being hustled out to be the image. He wanted it to be, taking a moment to, have a fist in the air, say fight, fight, fight.
I mean, Donald Trump is a politician, obviously, regardless if you like him or do not like him, that understands his supporters and his base better than anyone. And to take that moment, I mean, Trump is probably his truest self when he's on stage at these crowds and he's interacting with his supporters. And
they
feeding
refer to
off
me
of
as very
them,
online.
and he will test lines out on them and see what
Former president being
what's
carried by
popular,
secret
what's not.
agents
We're
under
in the middle
U.S.
of the vice
flag.
presidential pick that he's expected
And
to
the
make it in
reaction
the
to it
next
from a
48
whole
hours
host
or
of
so.
very online
And he'll
folks from
often
across the
listen
political
when
spectrum.
people come
Trump
out on
just won a
stage. Did they get
landslide
big
victory
round
in
of
November,
applause?
they
How did
say.
they resonate with his supporters? And so, I mean, to see that moment, it is very Donald Trump in that moment to first, before exiting the stage, look around and mouth a word of support to his supporters.
I haven't been stunned though
someone
by
tried to kill me
watching that
twice
crowd.
this year.
First he said he's endorsing him, and then he won up Trump. That was awesome.
2 times.
What the fuck?
Many of them stood there relatively calmly. It's really extraordinary just to watch what played out this afternoon, just a few hours ago.
Wolf, let's go back to you.
And we're waiting to hear directly from officials in Butler, Pennsylvania, where this rally was taking place. We'll be hearing from Pennsylvania State Police, Butler Township Police Department, the FBI, and the Secret Service. And we're expecting it to begin less than 5 minutes or so from now. In the meantime, I want to talk to Jonathan Lacro and Evan Perez about what to expect next in this investigation. Jonathan, you're a former Secret Service agent. What do you expect?
Well, Wolf, listen, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, specifically around, why was there a line of sight vulnerability? How could this individual, this shooter, get up onto an elevated building without being identified by law enforcement on the outer perimeter? So the investigation is going to start answering some of those questions, but we really need to get answers quickly because there may need to be protocols changed at the Secret Service, especially as we're entering in this heightened campaign season where there are anticipated multiple outdoor events that will be held
attempt assassination
after
with
the
the 2024
RNC and then leading up into
election. Red,
the DNC
king,
and
blue,
all the way through
nauseated
the
face.
Election day. So right now, it is important to understand how this threat materialized and what type of mitigation needs to be put into place to ensure that this doesn't happen again. I mean, we came millimeters away from losing former President Trump to an assassination. That cannot happen.
All the moderation team has been made aware that the Pennsylvania shooter was wearing a Demo Race t-shirt. We would like to acknowledge this and remind you all that this is an article of clothing that anyone can buy and in no way reflects the beliefs of Matt or the brand. We here are all deeply sorry for those affected by the tragedy, but we believe it's best that any further posts on the subject be removed. I'd be removing the current post on the topic as well, as they only serve as inflammatory. I would also like to reiterate that this is an unofficial subreddit and this statement does not speak for Demo Range or Bunker Branding. Please keep it civil,
within
folks.
the secure perimeter, and now there's a lot of questions exterior to that secure perimeter, that long distance threat that may need to be addressed.
We have to learn everything about what happened to make sure it never happens again. Good point indeed. Evan Perez, we're expecting this briefing to begin momentarily. Local law enforcement, Pennsylvania State Police, the FBI, the Secret Service, and we presumably will be learning more details about what's going on right now. The American public, indeed the world, has a right to know what's going on.
Demolition Ranch is
That's right, Wolf. One of the things that
gun YouTuber who has merchandise, and the shooter that shot Trump and failed or missed or hit his ear. I don't know how to fucking say it. Sorry, it's been 9 hours and 30 minutes. That guy was wearing the Demolition Ranch shirt.
He's going to be so pissed that one of his fans missed.
Yeah.
So that has added some more additional work. And so one of the first things that happens is the the FBI.
Why
working
are
with
all of the
U.S.
images
Attorney's
from
office there in
behind, bro?
Pittsburgh. They're working to get search warrants issued.
What
to
is
make sure
going
that they can
on?
do searches, gather evidence.
I can't.
Verify,
No, we don't know if this
what
is
they
him.
have
No, I don't
on
think
this
so.
person.
This doesn't even look like the same
And also just to try
person.
to start building a case
And the
about
fucked photo had,
the
like,
motivation,
shorter hair.
where this person was, where they acquired the firearm, how long they've been working on this, and whether they've left behind any kind of record, anything that might explain exactly what happened here. Those are the things that you're going to have hundreds of FBI agents, some of them coming from Quantico here in Virginia. They're on their way to the Pittsburgh area where this rally happened, north of Pittsburgh. That's where they're going, and so some of the police work is now underway. I don't know how much.
What's your opinion on all the radical leftists posting TikToks crying and being upset that the shooter missed? What's my opinion on that? They're TikTokers, you know, free speech. They're probably going to get a visit from the Department of Homeland or Secret Service, DHS, FBI, you know. Not that many, to be fair. Yeah, most people pretty much understand what happens if you do that kind of stuff, but your takes are shit and you're surrounded by dick-riding liberal fucks. GG, though. Hasan just a sped. Yeah, it seems like this guy's doing exactly what I was talking about, which is the right-wing guy who's like, a lot of people are wishing death on Trump. I, on the other hand, as a right-winger, have never wished death on any liberal. I'm not a liberal, by the way.
Did you call us liberals?
Yeah, we're the liberals.
Demolition Ranch did a photo shoot in an SS uniform? What?
Oh, no, it's not them. Oh, no,
it is, I think. Imagine voting for the Democratic Party and then passing a bill infringing on our First and 14th Amendment rights. What about the two students being trapped against the wall from protesters? What about the other guy that was walking through campus with his daughter and being blocked? Oh, he's also... Oh, I love this. This is my favorite type of Republican. He's talking about college protesters, like fucking they, them, queer English majors. He's like, oh, terrifying that they were protesting against the state of Israel. Excuse me, no slander for Israel allowed. Also, a bill infringing on our First and 14th Amendment rights. Meanwhile, you're like crying that people are saying mean things about Israel, my favorite country. That's great, man. Keep on keeping on, big dog.
Detail around the primary candidate. So what we're seeing here is we actually saw tactical assets that have been applied. We see more intelligence, more post standers. So the Secret Service naturally is adding more. It doesn't necessarily mean it's in response to a specific threat. What it is in response to is rising public, the public persona. The closer that the political activity, or the more the political activity gathers steam, the more assets are required to again build out that comprehensive security program for not only the former president, but also
I never heard of it, and
candidate.
does not watch Twitch
and
either.
Jonathan, can we assume that Secret Service protection has been strengthened at the same time for President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris?
Well, it's a little bit of a different structure, Wolf, with when you have a sitting president and a sitting vice president. Their structures are slightly different than former presidents and presidential candidates who are not in office. But you're coming very close to having a majority of those assets still
aiming at the
applied
shooter.
to former President Trump as the Republican nominee. So it's coming very close, but there is a nuanced difference.
They should have been looking
I don't
harder.
want to get too much
think.
into the Secret Service structure and how it bifurcates from the presidential and vice presidential protection structure compared to nominees. But I will say it mirrors very closely, Wolf.
And can we assume that whoever Donald Trump names as his vice presidential running mate, we expect him to do that in the next day or two or so, will immediately get Secret Service protection?
I think under the current situation,
I'm going to hold out on this fucking New York Post article, considering that the last New York Post article I read about the shooter was that he was Chinese. So I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm not going to go. I think I'm not going to go with New York Post. If you have another outlet who didn't immediately, if you have another outlet who didn't immediately say the shooter was Chinese before any information was released about him whatsoever, I would like that outlet. Okay. Front angle pic of the alleged shooter. Come on, bro. I know the dude's got a Habsburg job, but let's wait, okay? Email just sent by Donald Trump. Wait, I didn't get it. I get all the fucking messages. You get?
Oh, well, I got a text.
I usually get texts. I didn't get one.
It just says I'll never surrender.
Yeah, I didn't get my text.
Why didn't he text me?
Oh, I did. This is a message from Trump. I will never surrender. Let's go.
My last message from Trump is, President Trump is excited to see you tomorrow in Butler. Doors open at 1 p.m.
Compared to where Donald Trump was on stage, it was only about 500 feet, you know, and we know the government was on that elevated surface. How that happened is still, you know, people just can't believe it, right? How did that happen?
All right, hold on a second. The news conference is beginning right now. Let's go to Butler, Pennsylvania.
Oh, bumper. Butler. Whatever the fuck. It's a 13,000 person town, bro. Come on.
Is everyone ready?
Oh, we're ready. Look at this guy's beard, dude.
All right.
Why is he smiling? This is a serious situation,
So
sir.
my name is Kevin Rojek. That's R-O-J-E-K. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI Pittsburgh field office. The first thing I want to say is that the FBI stands with the people of Butler County in Western Pennsylvania, and our hearts go out to the victims of this heinous act which occurred today. This is our community, and I want to let the public know that the FBI has deployed a number of our resources, including investigative agents, our evidence response team, bomb technicians, and we have additional resources coming from other field offices, as well as from FBI headquarters, including our evidence response from Quantico, Virginia.
Who's filming? Someone filmed the shooter on TMZ taking
We have
a shot.
intelligence analysts as well, working from our field office in Pittsburgh, working feverishly to attempt to identify the individual who did this and any motives behind why this was done.
In the open?
Right now, we need the public's help. Anyone who was on scene, who saw anything, who identified any information, please report that to the
TMZ 's
FBI
scary,
using
bro.
either the phone number 1-800-CALL-FBI or online
They
at
shot him. They blurred him out after this.
fbi.gov/Butler.
Right there.
This evening we had what
Zooms
we're
in
calling
on
an
him.
assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. We also are working closely with other federal agencies, our state partners, and our local police partners as well. Again, at this time, we are not prepared to identify who the shooter is. We are close to that identification, and as soon as we are 100% confident in who that individual is, we will share it with the press. With that being said, also, we do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was. At this time, I'm going to turn over the podium to Colonel Chris Paris from the Penn.
I wonder what his motivation was.
Thank you very much. My name is Colonel Chris Paris, P-A-R-I-S, Commissioner of Pennsylvania State Police. I would just like to say that the state police have been in regular contact with the governor's office and the full.
What if he wanted to kill someone at the Trump rally? Like he didn't even want to. Just the worst
FBI
timing.
And other federal and municipal partners to assist with this investigation. The thoughts and prayers of the Pennsylvania State Police are likewise with the victims of this terrible act. We are prepared to support this investigation in any way, shape, or form, and we stand ready to participate in a full, fair, and competent and thorough investigation. To give you an operational rundown, Deputy Commissioner of Operations, Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, is behind me, and he will discuss the operational portion that's being conducted by the Pennsylvania State Police. Lieutenant Colonel Bivens.
Good evening. So let me describe for you a little bit about the scene that we have over there.
Tyler
As you
Bivens,
know, there was a grandstand, a very large area, a lot of people there when this all unfolded. The former president had come out and begun to speak shortly after 6 o'clock this evening, and within about 10 to 15 minutes, a number of sounds were heard, and it became apparent that shots were being fired in that direction. It was a chaotic scene. Law enforcement, I believe, acted heroically, quickly identifying and neutralizing the threat, as well as responding to assist the various victims. PSP had a significant presence on the scene along with all of our federal partners at the time of the shooting. We have since enhanced that presence significantly, bringing in resources from all over the Commonwealth to ensure that we have a speedy, thorough investigation.
If one more person posts the LeBron
we are
thing,
working
LeBron
very
meme, I'm going to fucking
closely,
lose it.
with the FBI as we work through this. As you can imagine, because
It's
of
almost
the
here.
variety of crimes that have been committed, some are under federal jurisdiction, some are under state jurisdiction. And so, we're working through all of that, not an issue at all. We work seamlessly. But the FBI has maintained the lead on the attempted assassination. PSP will take the lead on the homicide and the shootings of the other individuals in the grandstand area. And so there are a lot of witnesses to be interviewed, a lot of things to be processed. There were some complicators that hopefully the next time we speak we can describe for you, but some complicators that slowed down some of the processing and the positive identification of the shooter. But know that at this time we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. We are doing everything we can to make sure that this is thoroughly investigated, and that if there is any information developed that anyone else was involved, that between PSP and the FBI, that will very quickly be followed up on. So I think at this time we would open it up to questions from all of you.
Was this a lone wolf attack?
Again, I think it's too early to say.
Dude, our police are so incompetent.
Shooter tentatively
There was like
identified.
15 people that were like, hey, there's hey, I don't mean to alarm you guys, but there's a dude with a rifle on this roof.
Sometime until we can conclusively
And it looks
say,
like he's aiming it at the president. Yeah, the complicators were people yelling at the cops and Secret Service about the dude with the gun.
Investigation, but that will all be part of the investigation. But I can tell you that preliminarily it appears everything unfolded very quickly. So, again, we'll have more information on that, but it's just too early to start definitively saying this happened at this exact time. And
inside the security perimeter, right? That building was on the outside?
That's correct.
How far outside?
We'll have that information for you. It was some distance outside of the security perimeter.
That's what liberals get for defunding the police. You're right. You're right, brother.
We're following up on those.
The police are defunded because at the top of the hour I'm too busy serving them 3-minute ad breaks.
Had responded to
and
a
they
number
need to
of
subscribe
reports of suspicious activity.
for $6.
The specific response to this will be all part of the after action. But yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences.
What were the other suspicious occurrences?
That'll all be part of the investigation.
My friend saw a tweet calling for open season on communists. Do you think the right will target the left with violence after today? When is the right not targeting the left with violence?
From Butler County, Pennsylvania.
I mean, they were doing that yesterday.
Is there anything else? Did he have any affiliation with that company, do you know?
So again, we're not prepared
shocking
at this
turn of
time
events here
to provide the identity of the potential shooter. We're in the process of doing the confirmation, and once we have the confirmation, we'll release the name officially to the press. But at this time, we can't give any further information on the potential shooter. No, it's a matter of doing biometric confirmations. So there was no identification on the individual, as an example. So we're looking at photographs right now, and we're trying to run his DNA and get biometric confirmation on it.
Would you be able to comment?
There's hella people in here. I'm sure there's someone from this fucking little ass Pennsylvania town that knows the dude. Pick up the pace, chatters. It's time to fucking
We're
crowdsource.
still in the process of an active investigation.
We know
so
what his name is.
We'd like to reserve.
No, it's not Maxwell
releasing any
Urick.
information like that until we have more facts.
Today, was there any heightened threat level, credible threat level that you guys were aware of more so than what is typical for an event like this?
From the FBI's perspective, no. We did not have any specific threat information related to this event.
Where my Pittsburgh motherfuckers at? Yo, is it here?
And we know that there is at least 2 casualties, including the gunman at this point, that we're aware of. It could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Comment more about that and how it was taken care of so quickly.
Sorry,
I
I'm
think
from
the credit
Bucks County,
goes
Philly
to
shootings only.
Not only the Secret Service, who was on site, but also the state and local partners who were there on site and were able to react immediately when the incident occurred.
That's the one singular one.
How many officers fired their weapons?
I do not.
Oh, what the fuck? They got new ones.
There's still going to be a lot of questions, but I mean,
MP
is
Day
this
bites.
a failure of security?
Really,
I
at
got
this
2.
point, we're not going to make that assessment. There's an active investigation. A lot of things need to occur investigatively to make those determinations of what, if any, failures there were. So we can't comment on that at this time.
So you can't say if Secret Service had checked those buildings, or we're keeping a close eye, or?
Really have to defer to Secret Service for those questions.
At the ATR property prior to the event? Were there police at that location at any point during the event?
Are you saying the location where the shooter was located?
Yes.
I don't have any information on that. You'd have to defer to Secret Service.
When do you think you will release? When will the name of the shooter be released? I mean, any inkling of when that might happen, tomorrow? Or?
So that'll be, as soon as we've confirmed 100%, we're willing to release that. So if we have, as far as the contact information for the press, we should be able to do that within the next few hours, I imagine.
There was a vehicle being checked not far from here. We also heard of a possible related scene in Bethel Park. Is there anything you can tell us tonight about other areas where law enforcement may be searching in relation to this event?
Again, right now we're tracking down all leads and doing all interviews and tracking anything that we can regarding suspicious locations, vehicles, locations, interviewing individuals. So it's all related to this event, but I can't confirm or deny anything that's going on beyond that.
Great press conference, dude.
As far
I've
as
learned
the
so
details
much.
of the weapon,
Yeah, what kind of rifle was it?
do you want to comment on that?
What did he use?
No, until it's confirmed, I wouldn't comment on it.
Okay, yet until we have the confirmation of who the shooter is, and we'll release that as part of the investigative details later.
You said the FBI is deploying extra resources, and one of the things that you said was bomb technicians. So is this standard procedure, or do you have reason to believe that there are bombs somewhere in Butler County? Can you just walk us through
They
that?
just basically said everything we knew already.
Of any suspicious packages. In this case, there was identification of suspicious packages around where the shooter was, and so we deployed, in an abundance of caution, bomb assets to make sure that those were cleared for investigators to move safely in the area. We're still working on, it's still an active crime scene, so I'm not going to say that the scene is 100% clear at this time.
Why are
But
there Secret Service agents here right now for this press conference?
the Secret Service wasn't available.
They should just
for the
ask
press conference
TMZ,
at this time.
honestly. At this point, they know more. They know that at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break, and if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. Twitch Prime
Really
is free.
anything,
Or a
I
$6
don't have
subscription. Here's a
specifics on
3-minute ad
what
break
they were
now.
looking at, but there's people in the crowd will leave bags as they're fleeing the scene like this. So any suspicious packages we have to treat as it may be an explosive device.
And how quickly, this wasn't, I guess, the Secret Service, we're not here to talk about, I guess, but when you guys jumped into action, all law enforcement, and were able to take down that shooter, how quickly did everybody jump in?
No, I didn't actually end up running the ad.
So it was immediate.
No, I didn't run it.
And it was.
I forgot to run it.
We're still trying to figure that out. So we'll wait till.
Yeah,
we
I'm
have
running.
more
I run it now.
definitive
I
information
debated twice,
regarding
but
that
I ran it once.
investigatively.
What about the person in the crowd? Do you have any information about how they were killed?
My understanding was it was from the shooter, but again, those will be details that are released later.
Do you search homes or apartments as a part of your method of identifying the individual?
Yo, let me get a nug.
If that's where the leads take us, absolutely.
Can I?
Was Donald Trump hit with a bullet, do you know for sure, or was it potentially something else that could have?
I don't have that specific information as far as the injuries to the former president.
I understand you're not releasing the suspect's identification right now, but as you know it, is this person known to you guys? Is he somebody that you guys have been looking at through the threats he's possibly made online, et cetera, et cetera?
Again, the information that we currently have, we're looking at that obviously very intently. And as we know that information, we'll release that as well. So we'll need to plan another time for a follow-up press conference. We're looking at all investigative leads and everything from, and that's why we asked the public, because I'm sure there'll be cell phone video, there'll be all kinds of information that we'll use to fully flesh out exactly what happened here.
I think you're saying you can't say what type of gun it is, but do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't.
And
I don't have that information as far
Bro, I
as.
feel like this guy knows less than we do. Like, actually.
Is there an identification tonight on the other victims?
I've never watched a.
As far as the.
I've never watched a joint press conference and felt like I knew less.
Yeah.
So we do have identification on those. We're not prepared to release it at this time. We have notified a number of family members, but they have not had an opportunity to notify extended family and things.
Release it. We need to figure it out.
I would confirm for you that we did have one individual killed, and I know I heard somebody say about 2 victims. There were 3 in total besides the former president. So 2 critically wounded.
I want to know exactly how Chinese he was, because I've already decided he is Chinese. I just don't want to know to what extent.
I don't have their exact seating by individual. Again, that'll all be part of the investigation, but their shots were scattered somewhat, and so they weren't just into one particular location.
you're saying just one fatality as of right now?
Yes,
The shooter and one fatality.
the shooter plus 1 fatality.
Oh, thank you.
So there was 1 victim of the shooter who was killed, and then the shooter was killed.
And then 2 in critical.
Yes, ma'am.
Witnesses say they saw a semi-automatic rifle was used by the shooter. Can you share any more details of it? That's what.
I've heard those reports as well, and again, we do have a good idea of what the weapon was, but again, that's all part of the ongoing investigation. And I'm not trying to be cagey about that. You know, when the SAC talked about the need to be very methodical and to be cautious with that scene, we are doing just that. We don't want anybody else getting hurt, and candidly, there are some concerns that we'll be able to talk more about later on about just what those concerns are and continue to be.
Have you talked to the shooter's family yet?
That's all part of the investigation.
People are already running with the shooter registered name and address and all that as a registered Republican already. Bro, why are you saying Maxwell Yerrick? No one is saying that name. Like only one.
He made you say it just
only
then.
one fucking guy. Like New York Post and every other outlet is running with Thomas Matthew Crooks is the name of the shooter potentially. And this motherfucker's like, no, dude, it's Maxwell Yerrick. What the fuck is this? It's a 4chan thing. That's who they're trying to go with. Like, what is it? Like one guy's op or something? Like, is that what it is? You guys are just like, it's his personal op. He's just like, yeah, I fucking hate that guy, dude. You guys should figure out stuff about him. TikTok is going with Mark Violet. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's also not real.
We've got some federal violations, some state violations.
Yo, Pittsburgher
And so our
here. Some guy
investigators
named
are
Ben
going out methodically. We
Roethlisberger.
have a large team of investigators that are going out.
Yeah,
dividing
4chan
up
is so fucking stupid because the Maxwell Yarrick guy is some Antifa guy who got arrested. He was 30 years old in 2017. The shooter is 20 years old, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? God damn. 4chan and other like adjacent people are so unimaginably stupid about this shit. I looked it up. I saw the news article. I saw the news article about like Maxwell Yarrick or whatever. And it's some dude who's like fucking 30 years old. Yeah, 4chan is not trying to find the actual guy. They're just trying to blame the left. This could still be a leftist. I'm just saying, like, you know, do a normal, do a better job.
I hate to use the word routine, but it is a fairly routine matter for all of our agencies to work jointly with the Secret Service. And it really depends on the venue, on what information is out there, what number of resources are devoted to it. And we work with them to provide whatever is requested by the Secret Service, but they're the lead in that security.
Was there anything about this venue that made it particularly difficult to secure?
You know, I would defer to the Secret Service to answer that. They would have done the initial assessment.
Was the rooftop part of what was being secured? Was the rooftop, given its proximity to the event, part of that process?
It's my understanding that was outside of the perimeter.
Did this shooter have any previous history?
We're not going to comment on anything about the shooter.
Did the agency deny Trump's team extra security?
It's much better walking down.
There?
Not that I'm aware of.
If Trump had been the nominee already, would he have had additional security for this event?
There again, Secret Service has the lead, and I'm not going to comment or speculate on what may or may not be provided at any given point, depending on their status as a candidate. What I will tell you is that, in my experience, the Secret Service does an excellent job of maintaining security on protectees. They're very cautious. They don't hesitate to ask for resources, and candidly, we don't hesitate to supply those resources.
I guess he's saying they did technically protect Trump.
And be more specific about what you would really like to see from the public, if it's videos, photos, personal accounts.
I think the videos and photos would be very helpful. And I think that once the shooter is identified, anyone that has specific information on that shooter, that would be very helpful as well to help us assess motive. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we are absolutely not taking for granted that this was a lone wolf attack.
That account you found is not him.
For any additional information that might point us toward
It doesn't
anybody
look like
else
him at
that may
all.
have had a hand in this.
Sir, at this point, what is the main focus of the investigation? What's the most important thing for you right now, in a few hours?
Well, there's not any one single focus. I mean, certainly the immediate focus was life safety, getting the former president out of there and to care, getting care to the other victims, and trying to secure the scene as quickly as possible. It shifted then from a life safety priority to then an investigative priority. And so I guess if I had to point to where we are right now, the single greatest priority would be to identifying a motive and whether there was anyone else involved.
We're just beginning the political season. Are you guys concerned with all of these rallies that happen and how they're set up? Is this going to change maybe the venues?
Again, I would refer you to the Secret Service in terms of what they work out with the campaigns. We will continue to supply resources, as I'm sure the FBI will, and local partners as well.
When this was announced, it was, it was quite a few days of a heads up that people were getting ready to come to this Trump rally. From a law enforcement perspective, when you announce a big event like this, all that time in advance, like a week out, does it give people more time to plan something like this?
Well, I suppose, but there's a balance, I would think, that any of the campaigns on either side try to weigh. I mean, the point of them announcing it, I suspect, is because they want the crowd, and so it's not up to us and law enforcement to tell them when they should announce or how they should announce
why
or
this
how they
happened
should
tonight.
conduct it. We offer our best
Yeah.
advice. Again, working hand in hand with the Secret Service,
You're
offer
right.
our best advice of how best to secure and protect that venue.
Sir, considering how many people.
I should never talk about
and you
Trump
have
being a
packed
threat,
in
even
there
though
and
he
you have
is.
Somebody in
I also said you weren't going to vote for Biden, so it mustn't be that much of a threat.
Yeah,
How lucky is it?
or yeah, it might be the many times where I said I'm not voting for Biden.
Sad and tragic as that is.
Well, we're certainly grateful that we don't have even more victims. And again, in terms of